Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Buckeyes of all ages, you are now tuning into the Boomcast. Introducing your host, we have NFL vet, Buckeye legend, Daniel Herron. Joining him is the Boom Squad. To his right, we got former coal miner, dog in the fitness industry, Mr. Corey Gregory.
Yo.
Then over here, at the Tyler Sports Zone, we have Mr. Tyler Treadway, Mr. Tyler Sealover. Then here at the Doghouse, I'm the graphic gangster Cole Suzak. To my right is the king of Web3 Trevor on the air. And today, we got special guests. He didn't come here to play school. He came here to talk football. Mr. Cardale Jones. The Boomcast is brought to you by Max Muscle and Same Out of Fear. Let's go to the show.
What's good, Boom?
What's happening?
All right, so I always start off.
Live now? We going?
Oh yeah, we live. Hold on. I gotta give you the proper intro.
So y'all want to warn me for that introduction? Y'all got the screaming boo, and I got the boo in.
Yeah. Hey, we'll do it again. All right, I always like to lay down some facts real quick for our guests.
Facts.
All right. Graduate of Cleveland Glenville High School and quarterback at Ohio State from 2012 to 2015. Dog. Ooh, you like that? Hey, that's coming too. All right, hold on. In his first college start, he led the Buckeyes against the number 11 Wisconsin Badgers to an absolute beatdown, 59-0, in a win, and named the MVP of the 2014 Big Ten Championship. Dog. In his second college start, he led the Buckeyes against the number 1 Alabama Crimson Tide with a 42-35 win in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Bitch. And that advanced the Buckeyes to the national championship game. Dog! He then led the Buckeyes to a convincing win, 42-20 over Oregon Ducks to win the 2015 national championship. Dog!
Tell him.
4th round draft pick of the Buffalo Bills. Dog! And maybe the author of the most famous tweet in Ohio State football history.
What'd it say?
In 2012, Cardale Jones tweeted, "Why should we have to go to class if we came here to play football? We ain't come here to play school. Classes are pointless." Cardale Jones in the house! Hey!
That might be the best intro we've done yet. That was a great
oldest
one.
son.
That was a great one.
After that tweet, I was waiting on the dog status.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
dog.
Yeah. I rushed it. I should have let a dog go. And then, it's
he
good. Welcome to the show, Cardale.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, man. It's pretty cool.
For sure.
What's up, brother?
Chilling, man.
You doing all right?
Yeah, chilling, man. Thank you for the invite. It's always good to catch up with you, and you having a new platform. I know I jumped on with you and Beanie before. We talked some ball, and this one is more just everything, man. And usually how our conversations usually go, just talk about all type of crap.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you being here, man. Obviously, you play a big role, not just in the state of Ohio, but everywhere, man. And we happy to have you here. But we're gonna jump right into it, man. Kind of just we really try to let the people kind of get to know who you actually are. Obviously everybody knows you as Cardale, 12 gauge. The guy that does big things and makes big throws and scores touchdowns and all those things. But I want to take you back. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're from the Cleveland area. You went to Cleveland Glenville High School. You played for one of the, I say one of the greatest high school coaches. With Ted Ginn Sr. Just kind of talk about that, man. Just growing up in Cleveland, being able to play for a powerhouse high school like Glenville. Tap into that.
Yeah. I think, man, when growing up in the inner city Cleveland, I think some of the similarities, just like in Warren and other bigger inner cities around the country. We share so many similar stories with guys from St. Louis, Miami, and things like that. Of things that we saw. Why did we got into sports? Some of the programs we was a part of and things like that. So football always was sports was always an outlet for me, and I was lucky enough to have Glenville right in my backyard with Coach Ted Ginn Sr. And not just a coach. I think he's more of a mentor than anything.
Right.
And then when I was coming up in Little League, having an opportunity to go to some of those Glenville games and watch guys like Tegan Jr., Troy Smith, Dante Whitner, Pierre Woods, and the list goes on. Yeah. All these great guys.
League.
All these great guys who were, in our community as well, that was doing some great things on the football field. I know I always wanted to be a part of it. It started off as sports was just something that, we had to be into to stay away from the streets. Our parents, grew up with a single mom. she knew when she was out hustling, doing her thing to put food on her table, she wanted to make sure that the kids were, I wouldn't say taken care of, but she wanted to know where the hell we were.
Yeah.
You know, and it was usually definitely in the summer. It was sports, school. You know, you had school for at least, 5-6 hours a day, and then maybe after school program until, mom get home from work, and it's perfect, right? Summer is the tricky part.
Yeah.
Because no school, and you
A lot
wake
of
up
time.
and you got all the time we had. So sports was, almost forced on us, but not really forced on us because I grew up with an athletic family from my uncles and things like that. So
Now, do you
it
have any
was
siblings?
destined. Yeah, I'm the youngest of 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm the youngest of 6. So I was destined to play sports. I wouldn't say to be great, but I was destined to play, especially at a place like Glenville, being right in our backyard. And my family grew up with the Coach Ginn and his family very close. So Coach Ginn knew my whole family. So, he knew me before I even knew myself.
He was already like, yeah.
Yeah, he was already like, yeah, you're playing football. Not like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a Ohio State quarterback one day.
Yeah.
It was just, and I think Coach Ginn is like that with more so with anybody and everybody, far as the nurturing person that you are, the grooming person that you are when it comes to developing young men. I think he looked at it as, like, okay, this is another young man in our community that I need to help become a man one day. Not, oh, this is the guy going to help me, win football games.
He's massively important to that community, Cardale.
Yeah, I agree. His role and his impact this past year, I want to say about a month and a half ago, Greater Cleveland Sports Awards committee or whatever it's called. But, they reached out to me to help honor him in a Lifetime Achievement Award.
That's amazing.
And so I went up to Cleveland and spoke on his behalf, presented him the award, and, was asked questions in front of these, millions, well, not millions, a lot of people, a lot of important people.
We'll say millions. Cool.
Yeah, a lot of important people. Well, it was technically millions because it was televised.
There you go.
So, some way, somehow millions. But, and reading off some of his accolades before me and then after me, right?
Yeah.
As far as the time he thinks he done before I got to Glenville. And then I wouldn't say losing contact with him after, leaving my time at Glenville, but not being as in touch, right? And being around and seeing some of the impact that he has on the community. It's just, it's unbelievable, and I made a joke with him before, the award show, and I said, don't you get up there and cry. Because he's a passionate, emotional person that rests his emotion and sleeps. And they started laughing as soon as they get up there. They played these videos. All these people was congratulating him and giving him his flowers and things like that. And he looked over to me. He was like, he jinxed me. And he started crying. So then before he gave his speech. But it just speaks to the type of person he is. I always wonder personally, like, when is he going to retire? Yeah. Or especially when Glenville went through some tough years of just an athletic program. I'm just like, dude, like, you want this on your resume? Like,
Right.
I'm thinking more of legacy of that. He thinking of legacy of life.
People, man.
Yeah, people.
Oh, yeah.
He don't judge, wins or losses by the scoreboard. It's the impact that he has on young men and women. So that's what I think. Why a lot of people gravitate to him, why a lot of parents are so easily turning over their kids to him, if it's at the Ginn Academy or if it's an athletic program.
Yeah. I was happy to see him get his first state championship.
Yeah.
That was huge.
It's pretty cool, man, because, my year in high school, we were the first Cleveland public school, my junior year, we was the first Cleveland public school to win, I think, multiple playoff games or something like that, or the regional championship. I forgot how all that division stuff worked in playoffs because they played like 5 games in playoffs, if I can remember.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and we went to the state championship game, even though we lost, but we had all these accolades, like what we accomplished. Clearly, we fell short of the ultimate goal, but for him to finally get back to that stage for the 3rd time and pull it off, and then I think it was sweeter for me because I haven't been back to the Fawcett Stadium, Canton Stadium, ever since we lost. My junior year, and that was 2010. And they having a chance to go back this year. My nephew's the running back. They killed it. I think he was like the MVP of the game and things like that. So his junior year, I'm like, man, hope your junior year don't end like my junior year. So that was pretty sweet and being in the locker room. And I was just, I just felt it in the air of that game. And I didn't care how cold it was. I was going to be out there cheering for those guys. More so for Coach Ginn than my nephew, actually.
Yeah.
So. His body of work's just so impressive and and it's inspiring because of the way you talk about him, the things you see in the media. We've interviewed Ted back in the day, just the way he operates, like his son. It's super inspiring.
Yeah, he does some great things, and like you can't say it's for the money, you can't say it's for the fame, you can't say is for any other thing other than helping people.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's why a lot of people respect them. You know, you have opportunities. You talk to Boone, you know this. You talk to guys all around, you know, the league or in college when, you know, you come from all different parts of the country, and you know, we all talk about where you play from, where you from, and all this other stuff. And you know, you have a lot of similarities of guys from Ohio, Texas, Florida, PA, California, you know, Georgia, where they're playing major high school ball, and usually a lot of the same schools come up. And you know, as soon as you say Ohio, somebody, you know, I can't tell you how many times. Like, did you play for Coach again?
That's cool.
Like, I played at Glenville. Yeah. So, yeah, it's his track record, his resume speaks for itself.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, you had a great high school career. You're able to get a full scholarship to Ohio State. But before you went to Ohio State, you had one more stop before you got there.
Yeah. I had to go to prep school, Fort Union.
Yeah.
And you know, I still give Coach Ginn shit about this because you know no one told me.
It was Ginn's idea for you to do this?
It was Coach Trussell and that staff idea.
Right.
So, but no one told me prep school was military school.
They left that part out.
Yeah, I left that part out. And then I got freaking like we come up with this freaking plan, and I want to say late January of my senior year, last semester of high school, right before signing day.
Yeah.
Because, no, I think like in November, we started to talk about it if I was to commit to Ohio State because Braxton was going in school early. Me and Braxton Miller was in the same class. Mm-hmm. So you know how Coach Trussell was. I wasn't lucky enough to be coached by him, but the relationship I built with him through the recruiting process and still to this day, you know, he was all about the Ohio guys.
Oh, yeah.
All about the Ohio guys.
We talk about that all the time.
Yeah, he wanted I'm talking about not just the top Ohio guys. I mean, if you had an opportunity to play at the next level, I don't care how many stars behind your name. He wanted you at Ohio State.
Exactly.
And he tried to find a way to make sure you were there. And even though I was a highly recruited quarterback, he wanted to make sure I stayed in the state of Ohio, right? And growing up, going through the recruiting process, you know, it becomes less of like, oh, Ohio State's my favorite school versus, okay, let me see what this place had to offer for me. Mm-hmm. And I was lucky enough that it was my favorite school growing up, and it had everything I looked for in a college university, right, on and off the field. And so Coach Trussell knew Ohio State was extremely high up on my list. And, you know, Braxton was in my class. We played in my junior year, smoked them. Went down
Braxton.
Smoked them. Smokehouse. Like, they jump out 14-0, beat them like 58 to like 20.
Damn.
We destroyed them. Yeah, we destroyed these guys. But can't deny him. Great team and stuff like that. But so Braxton went into college early, and Trussell knew if I was going to come in, clearly same class. Braxton already going to have a semester of jump on me because he's there that spring ball semester and things like that. So he's like, what if we sent them to prep school? And he wouldn't lose a year of eligibility. We redshirted him the following year. It just separated him and Braxton by 2 years, even though they're the same year in high school. I'm like, okay, cool. First, I try to find every way to finish high school early to go to college, just like Braxton early, and compete at the same time. And it was too late in the process for us to do it. Like, that was kind of foreign to Cleveland Public, and it still kind of is. Like, guys leaving early to go to college. Still, Cleveland Public is a little different.
I mean, not a lot of kids does that. I mean, now they do but back then,
having an opportunity though. Well, Cleveland Public is a little different, and I know like a few private schools out in Florida, they wouldn't allow kids to do it either because it messed up their graduation rate and things like that for whatever reason. But the kids still go back and graduate. Yeah. So it's weird. I think. Oh no, it messed up the scholarship money because their money for some schools are due before the semester start. So you got to pay it, and then if you was on scholarship, that money could have went to another student.
Got it.
So I know a lot of schools in Florida, as far as like Heritage and a few other, they won't allow kids to do that. But anyways, so I'm okay, cool. Okay, that sounds good. It looks like, I mean, you know, that seems logical, I guess. You know, when I couldn't go into spring ball early, and I had to finish my semester of high school, my last semester. So I didn't report to prep school until early August. So I had that June and July summer, and I was just training and just hanging out with my friends. Well, actually, I wasn't because all of my friends went to college. You know, I had guys go to Akron. I had guys go to Team Up North. I had guys go to SC. You know, all of them went to college. Everybody I grew up with, we was lucky enough Darn near everybody I grew up with played ball with, they got scholarships somewhere. So I was just training and, getting ready for prep school. Packing all my bags for prep school, getting ready to go up. Me, my brother, my biological mom, my sister, we drive up to Virginia, Fork Union, Virginia, where actually Eddie George and Carlos Hyde went, and a couple other guys. But anyways, so I got my bags packed, and I'm like, okay, this is my first college experience. This is away from home. I'm about to live in a different state. This is going to be cool. Like, let's see what it's like. I get to
Make
campus.
your bed, motherfucker.
Yeah. I get to campus. We get to campus, and the first thing we have is orientation. And I still got my bags in the car and stuff like that. I'm looking around, and I'm like, what the fuck? These dudes got their fucking shirts tucked in their shorts. What the fuck wrong with him? Like,
Should know right there.
Right. I'm like, fucking lame. So go into orientation, and now, like, this is college living. Clearly I'm 17, 18 years old, thinking about girls. I'm like, yeah.
No girls.
Like, I'm about to have my own dorm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to find a girl
Get it
here. Yeah, it's just, I seen Project X. Like a party like that.
Yeah.
Orientation. I can't tell you guys one thing I heard in orientation because the whole time I'm looking for girls. And it's all dudes. So,
And no one told you any of this.
yeah, I'm like, where the fuck are the girls? So the last thing in orientation is say, okay, now parents, you can walk around with the cadets to get their uniforms. So after that, you guys got to leave. I'm like, what the fuck is a cadet? What the fuck you just say? So I'm like, I got my clothes, bro. Like, I got my stuff.
I got my bags in the
car.
car.
I'm like, I got my stuff. He's like, no, you go. They had it all labeled out different parts of the campus. You go there, get a trunk, and then you take that trunk and get your uniforms for Class A's or Class B's or Class C's. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Class A's and Class B's. So I'm like in the first line to get the trunk, and then the second line, I'm literally pretty much following people. And in the second line, it's this Asian family who's dropping off a kid. And it's, first of all, it's the most amount of money I've seen in my life. So, like, she had a Louis Vuitton bag. And I remember this vaguely. And I'm just thinking to myself, fake-ass bag. Fake ass bag. So she's speaking to the person in front of us about our schedule, our class schedule. Like, she's like, I don't want him to have no free time. I want him to be in everything, blah, 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 this, that. I want him here for the whole year, not the half a year, blah, 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 blah. And, like, she pulls out the money and pays for his, like, it was like $37,000 a year there.
Shit.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And she pulls that shit out of her purse, and I'm just like, oh, this might be a real bag. Like, this bag, But as she said, I'm like, what is she talking about? She wanted enough free time. And this kid was like maybe 10 years old, because they had a middle school and a high school there too, and I was there for the prep.
Yeah.
So, like, in between college. So we getting these uniforms, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where am I right now? Like, what's going on? So whatever, I started to realize it was all guys, it was military style, and I'm just like, as they walk me to my barrack, not a dorm, and I'm just looking like this, take me with you, don't leave.
Yeah. I'm gonna climb in
I'm
that
thinking to
Louis
myself,
bag.
like, I gotta do this to go to Ohio State?
Yeah.
Man, fuck Ohio State. That's what I'm thinking in my head, like, fuck this.
Yeah.
So
They
go
left
through
out a
that
lot of
prep.
details.
Yeah, they left out. Well, I was so oblivious to everything. I could have easily just looked the shit up.
Yeah, facts.
I think if I would looked it up, honestly, I don't think I went to Ohio State.
Okay.
Because I'd have been like, no way I'm doing
You
that.
didn't really- you
Because they was like, they sold it, Coach Trusted them sold it by, oh, yeah, Eddie George went here. Oh, Carlos Hyde went here. Oh, Vinny Testaverde went here. Oh, Plaxico Burrs went here. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a cool pit stop.
Great. Yeah.
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 Burgers.
He sold you
Trick
well.
Tricking me. Right. So get there. They, we got to change into our uniforms. And needless to say, 30 minutes later, I'm that fucking lame walking around my shirt tucked in my shorts. I'm just like, fuck, life coming at you fast, huh?
No shit.
I was like,
I wish you had some pictures of that.
no, you know what's funny? So my son's mom was explaining to him that I went to military school, and he did not believe her.
Yeah.
So he like, no, Dad went to Ohio State. You're a liar.
Yeah.
He just went to Ohio State. So I had to find this on the internet.
Damn. I don't think a lot of people know this.
That's why we got him here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is awesome.
Give him that inside.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all had to wear the hats and all.
Yeah.
Hey, can you text that to me?
Wow.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
Hey, you see who that
We
is?
can use that for
Pull that shit up, Jamie.
Who's that?
Mike.
Mike Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Thomas was my roommate.
guys.
Hey.
Yeah, so I
So
texted
You're
you.
on a.
So it was like a whole plan. Like, trust.
I guess it was to separate. So Mike graduated high school like at 15 years old. And, you know, he's from Cali. His dad didn't want to send him all across the country as a 15-year-old. So I think that's what his plan was. Mine was separate from boxing. Everybody go there for different reasons. We had some guys on our team was there to take the ACT again. Some guys was for the clearinghouse again and all this other stuff. So it's all different reasons why guys go there.
Sound like good strategy, Coach Tress had going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I was bummed out, man, that first couple of days, man, because I'm like, you know, it's no cell phones. You know, it's
No cell phones at all.
no cell phones.
Like
at
y'all
all.
ain't have a moment like, okay, y'all can
no
use
cell
y'all
phones.
phones.
No cell phones.
Like no, like Sunday to Sunday, like
Just trying to get
You
it
had to
straight.
go-
He's
you
trying
had
to
to-
get it straight real quick.
You had to go buy a phone card to use the pay phones on campus, and only like 3 of them worked.
All right, so no girls,
No girls.
no phone.
No phones, no TV, no internet.
Where's the school at?
Fork Union, Virginia.
There it is.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So we started to get slick with things and stuff. I mean, and if you got caught breaking a rule, you had this thing called ED. Like you had to march. You got merits. I think merits or whatever, like punishment things. And you got a certain amount, you get kicked out of school. So I think every merit was like 30 minutes of marching. So you got caught with a phone. That's like 50 merits.
What?
Yeah. So you don't have that much free time in the day anyway. Outside of school, outside of practice, you have.
yeah.
And, other
I was
little
gonna say,
things
give us like your schedule for a day.
So this is how it works. So it was super funny because Mike, you know, it was his first stop from California, and you know the time difference, right?
Yeah.
So our wake up call is 6 a.m.
Ooh,
Well, it's 3 o'clock.
It's 3 o'clock his time. Yeah,
It's 3 a.m. now. So you know they trumpet like wake the whole campus up, and you got like 20 minutes to get up, dress, and you got to clean your room, make up your bed. You know, no TVs on and nothing like that. And then you got to get out in formation in the whole school, and you march to breakfast. Yeah, you march to breakfast. So the center of the campus and how the barracks was kind of on the outskirts. So you had these people calling these barracks. They line up, and everybody just marched to freaking breakfast. Then you clearly in line, and you sit with your guys, your school, and you know, you have breakfast, and then you can leave. And then say if you're done with breakfast at 7, you got class at 8. Clearly, you got to get to class after that. But when you go back to your barrack, you can't watch TV. TV better not be on, and the door got to be open. You can just sit there and do work or write a letter or something. Right? You can't have the TV on. So go to class, get done with your class. You got about probably like 30 minutes before you got to get to practice. Right? You go get your stuff, go out to practice. After practice, you know, you didn't have to march to lunch, but after practice at night, you got to march to dinner. Everybody line back up, get ready to march to dinner, get done with dinner, and then you had I forgot study time. And it was like mandatory, like 2 hours a day. So literally, I'm talking about if you're done with your homework, it doesn't matter. You're sitting at your desk in your barrack, and TV's not on, doors open, and you have I forgot what they're called, like our leader of our group. I forgot what his title was. They're just walking through the barracks, making sure anybody on their phones or playing or snuck a phone and stuff like that.
Damn.
And then after that, you probably got like 40 minutes before you got to go to bed, lights out. Then,
Bro, you had
then
to
you
be
can
in
turn TV on.
shock.
Shell shock is I
How long you was there now?
was there for a semester. I thought I was about to kill myself. Yeah, I remember sitting at my desk crying.
Hell, y'all been crying
They
too.
didn't know what to do. Right, bro. I'm like, hey, how do I call a family? Write a letter. I said, what? Write a letter? So we writing letters, like, you know, we get a letter once a week.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta go you gotta get stamps and all that stuff, and you write it. I remember my first letter I wrote home. I'm crying. I had to write it like 6
Got
times.
tears on
'Cause
your letter, huh?
I wrote it like 6 times.
Yeah.
And I was just like, because it was such, like, I feel like it was
Big
a punishment.
difference.
Yeah,
It was a-
so different.
Yeah, I'm just like,
And especially coming from the inner city of, Cleveland.
yeah, and not even the structure of it. Yeah, it was super disciplined, things like that. But I'm like, I'm not saying I didn't need discipline, but I'm like, this is a punishment.
Yeah.
Like, this is straight up punishment. I'm just like, none of this stuff that's going to help me in life. That's how I viewed it. I'm like, none of this, me getting up early in the morning or marching to lunch or breakfast and all that stuff. I'm like, this stuff ain't gonna help me. Like, I don't, like, as soon as I get done with this place, I'm never gonna remember this place again.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if it was me being resistant to it or, like I said, I just really didn't need it. I always been that way. Like, if I didn't find interest in something or if like I just didn't give it my all or just really, it was hard for it to gauge my attention. And I was forced there. And I was just like, you got to be kidding
The
me.
forced part's the problem. Some people sign up for that life.
Yeah, some people sign up for it, which is cool because
I wouldn't have personally signed up for it at that time.
Yeah, because you got guys that was there in the high school level because we mingle with the high school guys, you know, because we had to go to all each other's sporting events and stuff like that to sit together. So we mingle with the high school guys, and they were there since like 6th grade, you know. And I'm like, one, your parents were rich. Two, I'm just like, this is all you know. But they did, though. Because one guy was like, I did this route because when I go to VMI and graduate there, I'll be a lieutenant or I'll have a higher up in the military.
Going to West Point. Like
exactly. Guys were going to VMI, West Point, Army, like things like that. So, and they was like, yeah, I want to do this. This is the lifestyle I want. Like, this ain't the shit I want. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
honestly, the discipline of being a college athlete at the high school level is rigorous anyway. So like you'd have been just in that system, that would have been enough discipline probably.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, all this stuff was just so pointless to me, you know, when it came to why we ran things the way we ran it, because I wasn't interested in it. Now, like I said, a guy who wanted to go into the military, want to serve for the country, now it was great interest to him because this is going to smooth that path once he's done with college and can walk right into that environment. Because I would imagine for civilians to say, hey, you know what? I don't know what else to do. I'm going to go to the Army. I'm going to go to the Navy. I'm going to serve. I'm going to find purpose. It's a shell shock for them.
For sure.
Right? So it's just that, not as intense, clearly, as the military, because you're dealing with life and death. But I feel like I was dealing with life and death every day. But it was definitely an experience. And I remember on our first leave, because we had to leave for Thanksgiving. And I had a freaking calendar. I was marking off days. I had a freaking calendar. And the first leave was for Thanksgiving, and I would say it was so hard to go back, I almost didn't.
Yeah.
Because we actually got like a week and a half off.
Yeah.
And I almost didn't go back. Like, I remember being in the airport like this, man, I don't get on this plane. But going back for Thanksgiving, what the cool thing was about it, we only had 2 weeks left, and then we was on winter break. Yeah. And then I was done after that, so I had 2 weeks left. Then after winter, I was going to Ohio State in January. So go through that stuff, and I remember just right when I got off campus, because I went on leave twice before that bigger break. I went with a guy named Mac Hollins, who's playing with the Miami right now, I think Mac is. No, with the Falcons. Mm-hmm. And Mac was there. Mac is a great success story of Fork Union, though, because he went there to continue to get recruited. And he ended up earning a preferred walk-on. I totally forgot what college Mac went to. And now he's 7 years in the league, though.
Damn.
What position?
Receiver, but he really made his shine off special teams. Bust his butt, tall, good-looking dude, can run, can cut. Never had the best hands, but he's a solid dude. Mm-hmm. Like, he ain't about to be.
He needed that.
He needed it for another chance of recruiting. Yeah. Everybody there was for different reasons. Prolong your recruiting, ACT, separation, whatever the case may be. So it was a perfect success story for that. And there's a lot more guys like that who benefited from a prep school. Like D-Hop went to, Martavis Bryant went to Hargraves, which was our rivals. And I remember watching film on Hargraves when we get ready to play them. And D-Hop was a year before me. I mean, Bryant was a year before us. He was a beast.
I mean, yeah, he was a dog.
Yeah, he's a dog. Period. Yeah. He's a dog. Period. But like I said, it definitely was an experience. But I know when I got off campus, you know, I was like, you know, you hear stories about, oh man, I'm scared to keep my kid cooped up all their lives because when they get some freedom, they'll go crazy. That was me. From a month and a half in military school to our first leave, and I went to Rocksville, Virginia with Mac and his family and stuff. You know, my family wasn't going to come down. We couldn't afford a plane ticket to fly me back for 4 days and stuff like that. So I just remember, like, I want to do everything. Come on. Come on.
Where the girls
where's something at? Where's something? It was so funny, like, me and Mac, man. I remember the first thing we did, we went to Chipotle. You know, we freaking get this burrito that's probably like this big and like kill that thing. And then we go down to the Maryland where they were The Wire. They were shooting a Wire at and stuff like that. And I'm like, ain't that where like, ain't this tough? Like people get killed on here. He's like, yeah, it's pretty tough. Oh, let's go. Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like all about Eddie and everything. So I was so like ready to get out of that place. But the funniest story I think about the whole Fort Union experience is I was going back on that last leave, coming back from Thanksgiving, my last 2 weeks there. And, you got to report back to campus in uniform. Mm-hmm. That picture I showed is Class A's.
So when you went home, did you have to wear your uniform?
I changed in the airport.
Yeah.
I won't let my family see me that. I changed in the airport.
Cause they were going to clown you in the hood.
What? Cop it. Look, cop. So, the funniest thing, though, so we, on away games when we travel, we had to wear those. Yeah. So I remember we had, like, this pit stop at this truck stop or whatever, and I'd go, like, to Dunkin' Donuts or something to get some food. And, like, I ordered, like, probably, like, $10 worth of stuff. And it came to, like, freaking, like, $2. Like, there's something wrong. So I hurry up and get it, and I'm walking out. I look at the receipt. It should say police discount. I'm in uniform. It should say police discount. So I'm like, I think I'm a police. It's like shit now.
That's funny.
It said police discount on the receipt. So, so we had to be in.
So you was
when we
5-0.
traveled. They don't call me 12 for no reason. So that was funny. And then, like I said, so I was going back on leave. Well, coming back from leave, going back to Virginia. And I had, I didn't have a shirt tucked in. I had just popped on top of my head. And I'm kind of Russian, but I'm not. Yeah. This is when I knew this shit was real. So a guy come up to me, and this guy, he was like, "Hey, come here for a second." I'm like, "What's up?" He was like, "You go to Fort Union?" He's like, "Where you go?" I'm like, "Fort Union." And he was like, "I'm Captain Major Sergeant something of the something, and you fucking go in there and you fix your Class A right now, or you're gonna hear about something like that." And I'm just like, because it's a disrespect to the country of, you ain't in proper uniform,
right?
So that's when I was just like, oh my God. Man, I went into the bathroom so fast and fixed my uniform and really more so tucked my shirt in and tied my shoes up and stuff, and like he was waiting on me when I got out too.
Yeah.
So you're third. You got it. And I was just like shook. He's like, "I'm Captain Martin, something bastard or something, fleet, something. If you don't go in there and fix your uniform, sir, blah, blah." I'm just like, it ain't that serious. I'm thinking to myself, bro, it ain't that motherfucking serious. Costume, bro. So going back for my final 2 weeks, football season was over. We just played 10 games. We won them all. I think we lost one, but now it's hard because now I don't have practice. Now I just like really got to fight through this stuff mentally. Mm-hmm. And now because I'm like, okay, fuck, like what am I here for? And so get through those last 2 weeks. It was great. And now we all the night before. I mean, what you gonna do? Like we going crazy in the Barracks. I got an early flight. I'm not tripping. And then like you got to pack up your room and stuff like that because they know who ain't coming back. I'm like, fuck this room, fuck y'all. Y'all can keep all this shit. So when I came back for the first leave, I had already brought back some clothes with me. That's what I'm wear out of there. Man, I put those clothes on. They like, you can't leave campus like that. I'm like, I ain't coming back. I had like some sweats and something. And I left everything in that room. Like, because it was all of the stuff we got from there. I'm like, all this stuff. I don't want it. I never wear this stuff again. I never want to hear about Fort Union again. So it was definitely... Man, and then I really enjoyed the guys I was there with. Still talk to a few of those guys. Xavier Quick, Lamar McNeil, Mike Hollins, clearly Mike Thomas. List goes on.
So y'all had some guys there.
Guys. Yeah, we had some guys there. Yeah, Robert Lockhart, who was like one of the top receivers in the country that year. He was there for clearinghouse reasons and things like that. He ended up going to the U or Virginia Tech.
You think you needed that experience though, looking back?
Needed it. You know what? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Am I thankful for it? In a way, yeah, because I am one of the people that believe that everything happened for a reason.
Yeah, it's kind of my point.
If one thing was different from that one day while I was there, I don't think I'd be here. Yeah. So I do believe in that in some type of crazy weird way. Like, hey, that had to happen to get here. Like I don't believe that if this didn't happen, I'd still be here. Yeah. And we can get deeper into
Cole read a fun fact too. I'm just wondering where that.
What?
That's where I was about to kick it.
Yeah, I did.
So about the dancing. Is that what you're alluding to? Yeah. So I read something that said like in like right before high school, you were like into ballet.
It's a ballet dancer.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
how did that go down?
Oh, really?
Trainer. I said not trainer. I took ballet. I took ballet in high school. So no one knew.
No one knew.
No
They
one
know now.
Yeah, everybody know now.
We didn't know until just before you got here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the crazy thing about that, so I didn't have to do recitals. Clearly, a big ass in a tutu. You didn't see that.
That was my next one.
Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't have to
Twinkle toe.
Twinkle toe 12. Hey, Twinkle 12. Yeah.
12 games.
Yeah, Twinkle 12 in the building. No, so that came about because all through Little League I played lineman. I just got taller. I was never a big person, big kid. And I wasn't going to play high school football. I wasn't. Because I'm like, I played line all my life. I'm like, these motherfuckers would kill me. Like, you're looking at Marcus Hall, looking at Big B, like those guys. And I was 180 going into high school.
Yeah.
I just played line. I really played DN. And I'm like, I didn't want to get pancaked by one of those guys. So I don't want to play. So we're just going to stick to baseball and basketball, and probably want to dabble with track. But after going into my first year, that summer, finishing middle school, going to that summer of 9th grade, kind of got, I want to say forced on football as far as high school, right then and there. I was going to play Little League again, and I was going to play quarterback in Little League to get some experience to see if I want to play anything else in high school. So my 9th grade year, I still had another year at Little League, technically because of my age. I could have played another year.
Got it.
So with trying to be more coordinated, trying to be more flexible and things like that, that's where it came about. Because going from lineman, that you playing a game all your life backwards, kick stepping and bucking and like that, to quarterback now, you're all over the place.
Yeah.
So I forgot who recommended it to me.
Well, I remember because that would have been like 2006, 2007, right?
2007, yeah, my first
Wasn't
year.
like Hines Ward, like all the Steelers doing it. They had just won the national championship, and they all attributed it to doing ballet.
I don't know, because you know what? I didn't watch football like that. I wouldn't better tell you who won championships or anything like that. Only time I really watched Ohio State game because Ted Ginn Jr. was there and all those guys were there. But NFL definitely I wasn't really watching like that, so I have no clue.
So when did your love for quarterback develop?
I think so. Our Little League, my last Little League team, my last Little League game, we lost. And I'm not blaming on our quarterback, but we lost because of the quarterback. I'm not blaming on him, but we lost because of the quarterback. And I was like, you know what, man? I feel like I played a great game as a lineman, but no one sees that.
Yeah.
But I did. I was burying shit. Like I was killing. Like I remember
Dudes
it
get
was
paid
yesterday.
now, though.
Yeah. So, and I'm just like, man, next time I'm ever in this position, like I feel like I had this great game. I got to be more of a position of impact, right? I didn't think quarterback. I definitely didn't think quarterback. I knew I could throw because I played pitcher and first base in baseball.
How fast you throw a baseball? That was going to be.
Dude, I was in Little League. I was pushing about like 87. Little League.
I figured.
So our first
12
every
gauge had to
first
come from
game,
somewhere.
Every first game, first pitch, I would get it close as possible.
Oh, kids
to
are
the batter.
scared.
Yeah, and I didn't have the greatest control, but I was also the only kid throwing a curveball too. So, dude, I would pitch a no hitter like every other week.
Yeah, I'm
in
sure.
Little League, all the way up, and I was really passionate about baseball. And I remember I had an opportunity to play for a travel team. We just had the money, and I was so bummed out because one of the players that went this team called E.J. Kabasi was a rec center. All the teams were rec centers. I played for Glenville Rec, and they had a player and their coach. It's the West Side. They're on West Side of Cleveland. It's predominantly Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans are usually really good in baseball.
Ton of baseball, yeah.
Yeah. So they had this guy named Devin. He was another bigger kid, like my height, but Devin had some size on him. But Devin probably was one of those. You guys ever seen what is that movie? Benchwarmers?
Yeah.
Where they give the guy
I
I
am
am 12. Devin was that. I guarantee you. Devin, we were 11 and 12. Devin had a full freaking mustache. Devin was thicker.
Let's go.
Here we go. Anyways, so his coach had reached out to me about right after our game, and because Devin was also a really good pitcher, and his coach reached out to us right after the game and me and like, hey, you ever think about travel ball? I had no clue what travel ball was, and all this other stuff. And he talked about it. As soon as he said a fee and stuff like that, my mind went blank. I knew we couldn't afford it. But going through that process, and then knowing I could throw a football, knowing I could throw a baseball, I'm like, it got to be the same, right? So I think my love for the playing quarterback developed after our first loss. Though my freshman year on JV, we lost versus St. Nations. And did you play with Scott McVay? He was here, but he never played here.
Yeah, I did.
He had shoulder injuries or something like that. So it sounds bad. We did that to him his last game of high school. Scott McVay was a linebacker, one of the top linebackers in the country out of St. Nations, and he was a year older than me. So our junior year, we played against them as well. But my freshman year, we played against them. He was a sophomore, and we lost, whatever. And I think the way that I try to rally our team to come back in that game, I think that's when I really fell in love with the position. And then going back the next day or so in meetings with our coach, Coach Tone Overton, just me and him one-on-one, watching film and really critiquing me. And that was the first time I really watched film. That's really the first time we're talking about really just me and the impacts that I caused on that game, right? As far as you missed this throw, you was late on this, you had made the wrong read, you didn't carry out a fake good enough, things like that. I was really intrigued with the neck upside of the game. So I think that after a loss, that's when I really fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So clearly, you go through all of that.
All that.
You finally
Great
get to
storytelling.
Ohio State.
No. Best story about Fork Union. No, I got to tell you this before we move. Oh, my God. So, I'm at Fork Union, and all that stuff transpired with that summer, everything happened with you guys, right? That summer. So now my future of Ohio State is up in the air.
Oh, yeah, because they're going to be in
I totally forgot about that. So going through that
I
summer.
gotta bring up old stuff, man.
I'm just saying, I'm going to tell you where my mind is. Okay.
I was gonna ask.
Coach Trussell resigned.
Yeah.
Lucas, the head coach.
Everything's in
banned from
shambles.
scholarships and all this other stuff. I'm like, what does it mean for my scholarship? What is going on? Do I still need to go the Fork Union route? So whatever, still stay the course. So I want to say about during my last 2 weeks at Fork Union, they announced Urban was going to be the new head coach at Ohio State. So now I really don't know what this means. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't want to go to Florida. He's going to run that offense. I don't want to do that. I'm going to die. We get bent up. Get bent up like I'm freaking 165. I get bent up. So he developed his staff. They're getting ready. You guys are getting ready for the Gator Bowl, right?
I remember.
Yeah. So they're getting ready for the Gator Bowl. I'm still in Fork Union, and Urban started to develop his staff, and he's sending his staff out on recruiting trips to continue to get the guys that's planning on coming in the next season. I'm one of those guys. I'm at freaking Fork Union, me and Mike Thomas. So the guy who comes see is Tom Herman's our quarterback coach. At this point, I already found the tricks and the ways around Fork Union. I had a cell phone and all this other stuff. I'm sneaky with it now.
So you're just a sneaky little
kid. Of course, I told you when you coop you up like that, then you finally get some freedom.
Yeah.
Where when we went on trips and stopped at truck stops, I would buy a prepaid phone, hurry up, put some minutes on it. And we had our uniforms on, put it down in my compressions, or we had our Class Bs on with our cargos and boots and boot ties. I'd throw my phone down in my boot tie because of the catch. I was slick. So on our free time, especially when football was done, I would be on the phone 24/7. And it's only one side of the building that got service and only 3 rooms. And lucky enough, one of my rooms was one.
Wow.
Because I guess it was facing the flagpole because it's in the middle of nowhere. So I cut out these pages in a book. I had a flip phone. No, I had a stand-up phone, a little stand-up little piece of crap phone.
Is your internet?
No, of course not. Of course not. This phone, of course not. I don't think I could. Yeah, I could text on this thing, but it was ta 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 ta, hey, ta 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 ta. They go, yeah, it was that type of thing. So I cut out pages in this book, and I would call somebody whoever I'm calling, and then I would close the book. And then I put the book in the window. And I would have an earpiece. So that's the door where they can walk past and look in and see what you're doing. I would have the earpiece. I turned my desk to face this way so I could see the door on my left, and then this is the window. I had an earpiece on this ear. And so if they look in, they don't see the earpiece. So I'm talking on the phone or whatever, and I always have a book in front of me, so if I do get caught talking, I'm reading. So
you reading out loud?
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm just reading or whatever. And then every time they come in, I act like I'm stretching and hurry up and grab it out my ear, grab it in my hand. I'm like, hey, what's up? So that's how I got slick with it. But anyways, so Coach Herman come visit us, and he's telling them about Coach Meyer and the type of offense still want me to come to Ohio State and all that stuff. Because another thing too, I could have signed with anyone else.
Yeah.
Because I reclassed technically. So he trying to lock me down for Ohio State still. And he's like, hey, what? You know, we walking around the campus on free time and stuff like that. I'm in class D's, like I said. He was like, okay, how do I get in contact with you? I was like, no, we can't have phones here. He's like, no, I know you got a phone. I was like, Mike, I don't know this motherfucker. And I'm like, bro, I ain't got no phone here. I follow rules. You know, so the whole time the phone was like in my boot blouse.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't trust you. I don't know you like that yet. You ain't my coach yet, motherfucker.
Right.
But no, it was hilarious because we laugh about that all the time. Like, I knew you had a phone because he said because it did. He said he heard something vibrate. Like, we're sitting at lunch and like literally my foot probably was like on the like. How the phone was, my foot was probably on the chair or the leg of the chair, and it did vibrate. So what the fuck was that? It's crazy here. I don't know. You always hear weird stuff here. No, it's hilarious.
So, all right. So you go through all this. Obviously, you have to go to class there. So now you're at Ohio State, and you have to develop this relationship with Urban and stuff like that. But let's talk about the tweet now. What was going on then? Because you just came from the academy, and now you're tweeting out this. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
So
he ain't know how to control himself.
Well, yeah, I got that freedom. That's what happened.
Yeah.
No, that tweet happened 9 months later.
Oh,
The tweet happened in September. We were in season. So I go into Ohio State that January. Urban's officially the new head coach. You guys just lost. Losers. You guys have just lost in the bowl game. You guys just went 6-7. So I'm excited. I'm excited about college until my first fucking meeting.
Yeah.
Until my first meeting. So another situation. I didn't even unpack it. I didn't even check in my dorm. So Coach Gillum.
When you get done, I got a quick story too.
Yeah. So Coach Gillum, he texted me, hey, don't worry about going to your dorm yet. Emergency team meeting. Y'all just got back from the game. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the same day y'all got back. Mm-hmm. And Urban come in, and I'm sitting in the back, and I'm just like chilling. And I'm just like, okay, cool. What's going on? Like, this is cool. Oh man, I see these guys on TV. This is pretty sweet. I see a couple guys I played high school with, dapping these guys up. Yeah, I'm here now. It's my shit now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We in this motherfucker.
Yeah, we in here, baby. Like, what's up, baby? They ain't ready for us. CB, like, what's up? I got to tell you a crazy story about CB too. I hated him forever. But anyways, so Urban come in the room. Boom! This motherfucker kicked the door in. Like, I'm sitting in the back, like, first chair door. Motherfucker swing I think it's about to hit me. I'm like, oh, shit. Motherfucker, coming at motherfucker, piss on fire. You motherfuckers suck.
No.
Blah, blah, blah. Like, how dare you guys go 6-7, Gator Bowl, and, you guys not tough. I'm hearing about all these problems, drug problems, respect problems. You guys get a great coach fired and blah. All this stuff.
Damn.
So I'm shell shocked. I'm just like, oh my God. I want to bet like, no, I didn't do anything that. I just got here. No, not me. Those guys, right? Those right, coach, get those guys. Me, I didn't do any of that stuff. I would never coach. I would never coach. Those guys are horrible people. Especially the quarterback. Get him out of here. It's the quarterback, coach. Get him. So I'm just like, whatever, man. I'm just sitting there so shell shocked. Then Nick Marati get up there, our strength and conditioning coach. He goes crazy. Everybody, so many bitches and hoes you can be in one room, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, there's a lot of bitches and hoes. I'm going to change all this shit, coach. Don't worry about it. I'm going to clean all this shit up. That's in my head. I'm cleaning it all up. Go get the push broom. I'm thinking to myself, I got this, coach. I'm going to be your guy. I tell on these guys if I have to. I'm trying to do anything. I'm trying to get a spot.
That's 12.
I just went through hell to get here.
Yeah.
They ain't about to ruin it for me.
Yeah.
Look, so whatever, and all that stuff happened, and I'm just shell shocked. I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? Like, where am I? Like, I saw this guy on TV doing Fox. He seemed like a good guy. I'm scared of this motherfucker now, And so then, Zach asked the players to stay back. Zach Bourne. And Zach's like, yeah, guys, man, screw that, man. We're going to show these guys, and we're this and we're that. We're tough and blah, 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 blah. And Carlos Hyde getting up and walking, like, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit or something. And Carlos getting up and, like, walking out the players-only meeting and shit. And then next thing I know, the motherfuckers start fighting. Him and Carlos. This is my
Carlos
first.
and Zach?
This is
Carlos and
Zach.
Yeah.
Okay.
These motherfuckers are running back and fullback fighting.
Yeah.
This is my first 47 seconds in college.
What's your first interaction as a Buckeye?
I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well,
Next
you just
thing I
came
know,
from another whole
I just-
situation, too,
yeah.
bro.
Next thing I know, But I was more accustomed to this one though.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's go, baby. I look at it, they might not hit that in my Glenville, dude. So, next thing I know, bro, I kid you guys not. It's like, remember the Titans. It's blacks versus whites in that motherfucker.
Jesus.
Like, they're not fighting, but the blacks are taking up for Carlos and the whites are taking up for Zach. I'm just like, in the back, like, I'm going to step over here with these guys. I just like, what is going on right now?
Remember the Titans.
Yeah, seriously. Dang. But, and to say all this, man, and then we go through our first workout as a team. We was working out before the BCS championship game was played, which was legal, clearly. I don't care. It was already on their freaking bow things, whatever. Anyway. So we was working out at 5:45 in the morning outside. So the worst part about that is, I'm in a dorm and stuff, and I wasn't in the normal dorms yet. I wasn't in the Woods yet. I came in early.
Where you at?
I was on Woodrow. And it's probably called Nosker House. They're not even there no more.
Okay.
And I didn't know how. So I'm texting CB the guy, hey, can I get a ride in the morning and stuff like that. And it's like, bro, we live off campus. Do we go past you together? It's like, find one of the guys. Jacoby was only freshman driving. So Jacoby's car was full. So I'm like, fuck, I got to walk. I got to figure out. I don't know how to get around the campus. This is the next day.
So you was basically late to your first.
I wasn't late. No, I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning and walked and tried to find a Woody. No, you think I was about to be late? Hell no.
Why you ain't call one of the coaches or something like, yo?
Who that's good, bro? Hey, coach, can you come pick me up?
No, but they gotta make some type of arrangement.
Ain't make nothing. Get here. 5:45. The coach is scared too.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on. Shit, they scared.
Trying to keep their jobs.
Right, they trying to keep their jobs. So I walk. It takes me a solid 2.5 hours to get there. I don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
I remember it was a bridge. I walked across the Rome Bridge.
Man.
And all type of stuff. Yeah, it took me like 2.5 hours to get to the Woody from Woodrow, and I was only up by so you know where Blackwell is?
Yeah.
Up the street more. Like right before
Damn,
right before High. I was like
that
on the
far.
corner of the
You had a
whatever.
15-minute walk.
Yeah.
And
but I
turned
didn't
into
know
2
where it was.
hours.
Like 2.5 hours, bro. So get there, and I'm in like just sweats and stuff. And then after the time and get closer, I'm put a little jog on. 'Cause I'm like, I'm scared now. I don't want to be late. So finally get there. Finally walking into the players' lot.
Yeah.
And OJ Orion. Mm-hmm. So you hear his voice over everybody. So everybody trying to use the key fob to get into the facility. Everybody's shit deactivated.
That's y'all probably had the old boys.
No, they turned them off.
They turned them off.
They turned them off. Mm-hmm. So the coaches come walking from the backside of Woody where that path is, where the grass fields is. Nah, motherfuckers, we out here. We outside today. I'm like, outside? We got a nice indoor facility in there. And it's January.
And it was January.
And it's snow on the ground. It's cold as fuck. And I just walked to this bitch.
Yeah.
What you mean we outside, man?
I love Ohio State.
Yeah, hold on. They like, get the running.
Hold on.
Running where?
Hold on.
What do you mean?
Hold on.
It's snow on the field.
Hold on. Y'all was able to go in the locker room and change and all that, though, right?
No.
I think honestly, Cardale,
This
I remember
I'm
them doing it.
confused.
No, I remember them doing it.
We wasn't, bruh.
They
I'm
didn't
confused.
on
wasn't
this.
allowed to go in the locker room, and we wasn't allowed to wear a house.
They didn't let
You
anybody
got a
in the
house
facility.
station? Turn it on inside out,
Yeah.
bitch. You got a house station? Turn it on inside out.
Wow.
You didn't
All
know
right.
that?
And guess what? When y'all done, get the fuck out.
I
Ain't
remember
no
seeing-
showers. Ain't no using none of
I
our
remember
shit.
seeing
Y'all don't
videos
deserve
of
it.
that.
For real.
Yeah.
I don't
now
remember that.
Now he. Yeah.
My
So
bad.
So yeah.
My
So
bad.
everybody's
like,
out there with their t-shirts
yeah.
flipped inside out.
Yeah, he's like,
most
get
of
the
them didn't
running.
even have sweatshirts on or nothing. They was in
Bro.
t-shirts coming up to the facility.
So imagine if you wore flip-flops, bro.
Your barbecue sauce, frostbitten, toast, done. Cut them off. So listen, yeah. So
You felt
I
like you
come
was
up
back
there
at
in the deal, yes.
Yeah.
So they like get the running. I'm like, running where? They like around all the fields. So we running around all 4 fields. The snow. They didn't even get to snow at the fields yet. So we running. We like, everybody bitching. What the fuck going on? These motherfuckers crazy. Blah blah blah. They line us up on field 3, the first turf field. 5 deep. So starting from like the 50, everybody we doing jumping jacks. We doing push-ups. I was ready for all that shit because I just came from that shit. I'm like, I'm about to kill this shit. Okay, cool. So in the snow, sit-ups. We lunging 100 yards. If you stop or bring your feet together, you start. We bear crawling on 1 foot, 100 yards. They making up shit. So, but
They were
it
trying
did.
to break y'all.
It worked because we had like 12 guys quit. Some guys transferred. I mean, we had guys that played the previous year.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm cool. So we was doing all this stuff. And I remember, man, Storm Klein was the guy that like really took me under his wing my first quarter.
Shout out to Storm. Good
Yeah,
guy, man.
yeah, good dude. And I remember we was doing pull-ups and sit-ups on that red dip bar and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so tired, and my body was hurting so bad. I had gloves on either. No one really had gloves. Hands are frozen. Can't feel your hands. And I remember looking down on the ground like, I can end this right now. I'm not letting go, and just knocking myself out. At least I'll be done with the workout. Like literally, though. Seriously though. I'm like, I want to kill
Look at
myself.
that strategies.
I'm like, I want to kill myself, but I want
Yeah.
to knock myself out though. I've never been knocked out. It don't seem that bad right now. For real. I'm like, let's see what this feels like. And right when I'm about to do that, man, Storm come grab my legs and kind of making it easier, like to help me. I mean, but clearly he put Olympus on weight, so clearly I got to do the same for him. Yeah. But the worst part, man, was when we had to do the barrel walks, when somebody holds your feet and you run 100 yards. I'm like, okay, whatever, I do it. I'm still like 175 at this point. I'm doing it, maybe 180. Doing it, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm hurting. And then he like pair up with somebody your height so he can make it easier.
Yeah. Oh, he had to get a lineman.
I did not
Don't
think
tell
of
me
that.
you a big Mark.
No, somebody worse. Andrew Norwell.
Wow.
That's
Still
what
holding his
Andrew
big
Norwell.
ass legs.
And another thing about our linemen too, they were all quote unquote fat, like out of shape fat, because they had a.
It was different.
Yeah.
Tress's O lineman, the way Tress O lineman looked, the way Urban's lineman looked,
different.
Everybody was totally different.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, our linemen, we had a thing that they had to lose weight. I think before the season, sort of 9 months, they had lost over like 500 something pounds as a group. Lost over 500 something pounds.
Damn.
So yeah, I had Andrew Norwell, who was the fattest on them all. Love Andrew to death. And as I'm coming through the goal line, it hit me. Oh fuck, I gotta hold his legs next.
Bad strategy, Card.
I'm like, oh shit. So I get his legs, big ass fucking moon boot cleats he got on. I get him. I'm dropping them for like every 3 steps. Them legs heavy as hell. And Andrew, crazy hair.
Yeah.
Fucking one of the guys is always and spitting in one of those shit, and he just turned around. I'm like, I'm trying. It's like hurting. Like I'm trying, man. I'm like, I hate it here. Next thing I know, they tell us to get out. We're done. They tell us to get out, and we see them all at the same time. I said, yeah, I don't know if I'm for this. I don't know if I'm for this. So yeah, that was my first.
How long was that workout?
We did it for a week. How long was that workout?
Yeah, like
Probably about 2 hours.
Okay.
Like, a little over 2 hours.
Damn.
Legit though. Legit.
Like
going the whole time. No breaks. It's the difference between 2 hour workout and you got supersets and you got no. Sure. Going the whole time. After we rotating drills, so one drill's on the field where we doing bear crawls, barrel walks, tire sleds or pushes, and somebody else is on the dips and stuff like that. Somebody else is maybe doing something else, push up. So it was going. It wasn't no like catch your breath. But it worked. We went 12-0 that year, and we wasn't good.
Yeah.
We just out-toughed everybody.
Who was the first person you called after that first workout?
LSU. My recruiting coordinator at LSU, who recruited me. I said,
so you ain't call your mom? Like you ain't call again?
I said, is it too late to come there? I was ready to leave. Shit. I was ready to leave after like 3 workouts. Yeah. I'm like, we're getting punished. I'm getting punished for something I didn't even do.
Yeah, that would be that would feel weird.
I'm like, this is. And then I'm starting, this is in spring ball by the time I called them. And I asked, was it too late? Because I'm like, we continue to get punished for things that we didn't do. I'm not getting a fair chance. I feel like I'm lied to. Coach Herman tells me, they say, all positions are open. Because if all positions are open, no offense to nobody, our first year, Kenny Guyton should have played more. And he probably should win as a starter because he knew the offense better than any of us.
Kenny Guyton can ball.
Yeah, he can.
Straight up.
Yeah, and that's no disrespect to Braxton or anything.
Of course.
And Braxton and us, and we all leaned on Kenny when it came to the teaching side of things.
He
And
was
that's
the
why he's a
OG
coach
of the
now.
room.
Yeah, that's why he's a coach now. But we all was in a position to learn the offense at the same time. And, I mean, rightfully so because of the style of play that Urban wanted at quarterback. Braxton got way more attention. Yep. He deserved it because he played a lot as a freshman, and he had clearly the bigger upside than all of us, especially in that system. Mm-hmm. But if they were saying, if they would have kept it true to what they were saying, it should have been Kenny. Instead of saying, oh, yeah, whoever learned the offense and all this. No, whoever going to be best fit for this, which was Braxton. So I wasn't feel like I was getting a fair shot. Then seeing all this running quarterback, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. So LSU was my first call of like, I want to go somewhere else. You know, I said too late. So that's crazy.
What they
I
tell
wonder
you?
if people know that you chirped at LSU like during I've never heard that either. Have you ever talked about that?
No,
publicly?
not really. And then especially I called them again after the spring game. I didn't play a snap in the spring game.
Not one snap.
Not one snap.
Wow.
Not one freaking
Was
snap.
Coach O there?
Coach,
So you had-
no Les Miles.
Oh, Les Moss.
In the quarterback room, you had yourself, Braxton, Kenny Guyton. Was JT there yet?
No, Justin Seams,
Justin Sims.
and that was it. Yeah, my freshman year. JT was the following year.
Kenny Guyton's probably a great coach.
He is.
You could just see like
He is.
I mean, that's why I keep getting jobs.
I mean, he went from Houston to Arkansas and stuff like that. Yeah, KG, man.
All right. So
good
look,
dude.
we're gonna fast forward to the 2014-15 season. You come in, you got the locker room. You come in third string.
I guess.
What's your
I still don't know how none of that happens.
tell me? What's your mindset? You know,
So we just the previous year, Kenny guy. I played with KG 2 years, and
and Kenny went crazy one year.
his last year,
Yeah.
he set the record in passing in his
Yeah.
first start, and then he killed Kyle too. Then
Yeah.
Braxton got back healthy. Then you really never heard from Kenny again. Stuff was mop up duty. So in 13, we lose in the Orange Bowl to Clemson. Braxton gets banged up in the game. And we know, even if he's playing in spring ball or not, we know, because Kenny just left, now we're looking for a backup. Right? It's the battle between me and JT. To my knowledge, to everybody's knowledge, I win the competition in spring. I was killing. I was killing the spring. From the game, from practice all to the game, I killed it. So clearly, my mindset, if you're number 2 at Ohio State, especially the style of quarterback we run, like you better stay ready. You know, I mean, I just seen this for the last 2 years with Kenny and Braxton. You know, and I'm like, okay, win this spot, give me a good jump of being number 1 the following year. That's my mindset going into there. And, you know, win the job in the spring, and for whatever reason, Urban decided to open back up, not even like publicly. Urban decided to open back up in fall camp. So Braxton is he had a surgery. He's, you know, on the road to recovery, on the road to be the guy, clearly, for our 14 season. And not knowingly, I'm still battling for a job, thinking I already got it locked down. So I should have saw a little bit of right on the wall because how the reps was going in certain situations and stuff. But I'm still like, okay, we're getting ready for a game, or we play in 3 weeks. Like, what are you talking about? We're battling and like, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not known to nobody but you or your guys, because you want your guy to be the guy you recruited. You didn't recruit me, you know. So that's how I felt, you know. And it went from looking from a backup out of nowhere to now Braxton out for the season because he tore his label in practice. Now I'm looking for a starter. So as the time continues to keep going, we're still not saying who's going to be the starter or anything like that, or who's preparing to start it, but they're saying it by the reps counts. So I'm noticing, I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing that I'm not getting this opportunity, a fair one, a fair chance, you know? And as time got closer, whatever, you know, I remember getting ready for Navy. It's our first game of the season. And, you know, JT's announced as a starter, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. You know, now because that plan I had in the winter for spring kind of is out the window now because this guy's younger than me. So it's not like he's going to leave next year. You know, I'm going to run out eligibility before him, so I'm never going to play. So I'm a little bitter about it. So I'm pissed, whatever. But, you know, I'm still preparing, like, okay, whatever. We're going to see what he can do because we never seen him play yet. You know, he's going to be susceptible to injuries as well as all of us, right? So I need to stay ready. So we play against Navy, and, you know, a game that we're supposed to blow them out, clearly. And we don't do as well, right? Especially the first half. And I'm just like, okay, cool. This is my opportunity. I'm about to play. Like, we ain't looking as good. You know, JT's missing a few passes. I'm like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get the opportunity. I'm bummed. We win, but I'm bummed down in the locker room. I am. And, you know, coach say something to me, and I just ignore it. I'm like, whatever. Just get on the bus, put my headphones on. Following week, I think we play Virginia Tech. We get hammered at home. You know, JT gets sacked 8 times, throw 4 or 5 interceptions, or whatever the case may be. Not a good game performance individually or as an offense, but not blaming it all on JT or anybody, but clearly when you want to change the pace of something, what you usually do, change the quarterback. So that's what
I was
I'm
at that
thinking.
game. The juice wasn't there.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Like, oh, for sure. Like, we can't run it. We missing on some deep balls. And that's what I do. Like, I know I'm about to get an opportunity. Nothing. So I get bummed out again. Then we come out, play Cincinnati. We kill Cincy. And I think our first Big Ten game is like Indiana. And I think about the fifth game of the season, I said something to Coach Herman. Because I'm getting all these praises in practice as well. And then even after games, I'm getting some, in our practice, I'm getting some like real work as far as like, okay, hey, let me see you run this card. I'm killing it. So I'm getting all these praises in practice, but I ain't getting no significant playing time. And I'm just like, this is BS. You guys are praising me. I know I'm getting better. I'm not killing our defense. I'm doing really well against our defense with scout team. I said, I'm leaving after this year. I'm done. Like, I ain't about to go through this. This is my third year. I'm going to go somewhere, try to play for 2 years somewhere else. Because I know I can do this now. Yeah. Earlier in my career, I did doubt. I had doubts because I wasn't as focused, right? I'm like, I know I can do this. So, had a great conversation with Coach Herman about things. And he was like, the number one thing I took away from that conversation was when you have a quarterback, you want him to feel like he the guy, especially in the season. You don't want a quarterback battle of controversy during the season. And this really leads into the 2015 season for me personally. And I'm like, you know what? I respect that. I understand that. And this was no hate or shade towards JT. Yeah. That's my dog. And then what really made it easier for me to accept my role as a backup, the motherfucker started balling. Yeah. He started going for 500 a game. Yeah. And I will argue to this day, if he didn't get hurt in the team up north, he probably won the Heisman.
His stats were serious.
He probably won the Heisman. Yeah. I kid you guys not. Yeah. He was killing it. I think Jameis won it that year, I think. Mm-hmm. No, Marcus Mariota won it that year because we played him in it. Yeah. He'd have been up there. At least JT would have been in New York, if not win it. Yeah. So whatever, I set my role. I'm preparing still as a starter though, but like that bittersweet goes away because this is my boy too, and we perform at a high level. I'm being KG what's the Braxton to him. Whatever I can do to help. Let's go. Like, I'm going to be your eyes here, whatever I can do.
You settled in your role, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But my thing was this. I never had a significant role, or I never had a role once you're telling me, stay ready, stay ready, stay ready. Oh, this, but it's not showing. You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, we're going to come to you in this situation. Be prepared for this situation or this package, and it's not showing. Like, come on, bro. Like, don't try to keep me happy, right? Yeah. So, goes on. He loses. We get injured, team up north, he's done. So now, so second quarterback getting hurt for a season injury, I finally get a chance, right? So go through that, finish team up north game. Wisconsin next, number one statistically defense in the country, and we just hammered them.
When you're the guy, though, that's the thing. Like,
it's a difference. Yeah.
What changed right there? Because then all of a sudden you hear some of these interviews from Urban that says like he basically wasn't sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you got two guys that have already clearly balled that are down. And everyone, including just the fans, are like, shit, we on our third guy. No one's really got to see you play.
Of course. And mop-up duty, okay? Like, I did some crazy stuff. I jumped over guys in mop-up duty and had a few throws, but nothing like significant time. That's completely different.
So the pressure, did it like, or was you just like, fucking finally, man? No disrespect to the guys that got hurt, but now it's time for me to get it.
Yeah, I think that was my mindset. Like, okay, let me show you guys what I've been telling you the whole time, right? Hey, like, let me not just show you guys, let me show myself. Because at this point, I haven't played really significant football since losing the state championship game in high school. Yeah. So I'm just like, that's the last time I was the guy, knowing that win, lose, or draw, like, it's on me, right? I'm going to have an impact on this game, and a significant one if I can. And I think that confidence, that self-confidence, and knowing you the guy, not looking over your shoulder, I think that speaks for itself.
Yep.
Of like, okay, these guys got my back no matter what. I got their back no matter what. Let me go out here and play as perfect as I can because one or two missed passes, they bring in another guy.
There is no other guy.
Yeah, there's really no other guy.
It was what, Taylor Marshall? There's a wide out.
There really was no other guy.
There's no other guy.
There was no other guy.
So you literally didn't have to look over your shoulder.
Yeah, and going through that process, man, I think not even thinking like that, it didn't make me think like that until the following year.
Got it.
And, we go out and play Wisconsin. Game could have been – we actually could have scored more points, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. But we played well, as a team. And I always get a lot of accolades for how we did and things like that. I'm like, I played good, but not to our standards. I didn't grade out a champion in none of those games, because of stupid stuff I did. Right?
But the simple fact that you for not playing all year – not having a lot of action the whole year, and then to be able to step up and play the way that you did, I mean, that just says how well of a job that you did preparing the whole year, because people don't understand how hard it is.
Oh, for sure.
When you're third, fourth, ain't getting no reps in practice, how hard it is to stay ready.
Stay mentally
You know what I'm
engaged
saying?
in that stuff. And I know you was a younger player. Who you had Pittman?
Man, when I
Pitt,
committed to Ohio State, so Pitt had entered the draft.
So it was
So when I was there, it was Beanie,
Beanie,
Mo Wells, Brandon Sang, myself.
Brandon.
Yeah.
That's the other one that people don't give credit. That dude was he go.
Yeah.
He go. So you was potentially in that situation, right?
I was definitely in the situation.
Of
I know all
like,
about it.
Yeah, of just not always been a guy. And I can only imagine with running back, because the rep you may get may be a pass play, you know, or a rep that the line don't block. You know what I'm saying? So, going into those situations, I got to give credit to Coach Meyer and that staff, especially Coach Herman, of keeping guys ready, because we would go through situations where we in practice, winner and loser day, big time practice days is
Might just throw you in there.
exactly say, hey, Taylor Decker, the left tackle got a equipment malfunction. Get the backup left tackle in. Just to make sure that you're paying attention in your mental reps. He was big on mental reps and physical reps.
Yep.
Clearly, you only can get so many physical reps, so your mental reps have just to be as important. And a lot of those situations, a lot of those games, that mental rep paid off, where I'm like, oh, I seen this on film. I walked through this when JT was going through this. Because if you look at our film, especially my time was there, JT was right there. The offense was where you guys at. JT right there at the helmet. I'm right here going through. I'm seeing the same thing he's seeing. I ain't getting the ball. I ain't throwing it. And it's times where he go through that rep. He throw it this way, and my head thrown it this way. And we stopped the film. Cardale, what did you see? Why did you go over there? JT, what did you see? Why did you go over there? Hey, I like my matchup here. Hey, the rotation told me to go here. Two good answers.
Yeah.
And we both just got that rep. I didn't get that physical one, but I saw everything he saw.
You were super engaged.
Yeah.
A lot of
And
people
that was
don't.
on-
Yeah, you
You
have
have
to
to
be.
be.
You got no choice, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was on Coach Herman. And I think he did a great job of making sure all of us was engaged like that. And I'm back there looking crazy. I'm taking a full-blown rep. Like, guys ain't open, I'm scrambling. It was one or two times I may say got too close.
Mental work.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, if I scrambled or something like that, it was one or two times I literally got too close to the real play. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it's how engaging you have to be. And I think that goes back to Kenny Guyton, though. I really learned that from KG. Because he was the ultimate pro with that stuff. He was doing that without a coach telling him to do that.
Yeah.
And Braxton was out. We was playing, I think, San Diego State or Purdue. And it was one of those situations where I wasn't paying attention in practice. It was a year before. And then, clearly I'm like, whatever. I ain't never going to play here. Like, let's chill. Let's hang out. I got a few more years to even think about. I got a few more years before I even think about I'm going to play here.
Yeah.
So, Coach Meyer comes up to me out of nowhere. I'm not paying attention. Offense going. I'm fucking around with somebody. Hey, what was that play? I'm just like,
Oh.
so he like, Tom, we got a fucking quarterback over here. Don't even know how to play. Bull crap and blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck. Next, after practice, Coach Meyer bring me in office. Like, listen, if I ever got to put you in a game, I'd never feel comfortable. I would have to go to the big guys, because he really ran our program off the lineman. And I won't be comfortable telling him I got to put you in a game. Not because of talent. Not because of talent. And like, how intense Coach Meyer is. And I'm just like thinking to myself, whatever, dude. We'll see. Ask me that shit in 2 years. I'll be ready in 2 years.
Yeah.
Braxton get knocked out the game. I think it's Purdue. Kenny's the starter. No, shit. Kenny get knocked out. I got to go in. Mm-hmm. Like, I know for sure when I go in, they're going to make me hand the ball off. Mm-hmm. So I was already in that mindset. I was never going to play here. I didn't go through our quarterback test the night before the game and wasn't paying attention to meetings. So I had no clue what they was running on defense. I had no clue what our game plan was. I didn't care. And Kenny helmet came off. Thank God it was a TV timeout. So Kenny helmet came off. When helmet came off, you got to come out for a play. Yeah. And when I say my heart fucking dropped, my heart freaking dropped. And then it was the most surreal feeling I ever had in my life. And out of nowhere, like, as his helmet came off and, they waving off, everybody have a TV timeout. Coach Meyer, I don't know if he was looking at me or looking in my direction, but I just see him looking in that direction. I'm just looking like, I got to put this motherfucker into play. Like, that's how I felt. And when I say, I guarantee you, it'd have been, I don't care if it was 3rd and 88, it'd have been a handoff. Or freaking, it would have been a handoff to Carlos Hyde.
What was the feeling? Was it that you knew you were unprepared?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said, I would never feel like that again.
Yeah,
I said, I would never feel like that again, ever in life, period, though, not just sport. I said, I would
great
never
teaching.
go into a situation unprepared again, ever.
Yeah.
So
I had
that on top of Coach Herman reinstalling that and reiterating that when it comes to that position, I think that's what really helped me perform when we got in 2000. And don't get me wrong, what really helped me perform, I had a really good team. Yeah. I mean, it was I didn't feel like I can do no wrong.
Right.
Oh, we ain't getting to go in the pass game. Shit, give it to the number one back in the country, behind the best lineman in the country.
Yeah.
Throw it over there, Mike over there somewhere. Jalen over there somewhere. Get Jalen a bubble. He go turn that 3-yard bubble to 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
So what were the conversations like? So obviously JT goes down, you go in, you finish out that game, get the dub. But then what were the conversations like Coach Herman, like Urban about? Because Urban said like he saw the biggest switch of like you went from I'm taking over this team immediately. Like what was that like?
I think his switch came from he started to pay attention to me as a quarterback. I didn't change not one bit. You can ask my roommate, you can ask the guys. Like I was still myself. Like I had to spend more time studying. Yeah, that was normal. Yeah, because I had more time because it was end of the semester. I was done, and things like that. So I was still, spending my time in the facility after practice with the coaches, go to game plan. Now I think his eyes were open because now those questions you asking JT or that engagement you having with me, and you never had it. Now you're like, oh my God, it's changed. No, motherfucker, I've been here this whole time.
Really, shit ain't changed with you.
Nothing changed. Yeah, nothing changed. So that was after the Team Up North game, getting ready for the Big Ten championship game, where he started to see the change or whatever. And I didn't feel like
his eyes.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I changed not one bit. So getting ready for that situation and being in those meetings and really finally having a chance to see how intelligent I was when it came to this position, I think that's what really shocked him for the most part. But then again, you're dealing with so many players on the field. You got 108 guys in the locker room. There's no way for him to have a significant relationship with everyone, especially the backup quarterback. But he does a great job of making sure his position coaches have those intimate relationships and encounters with your players. That's why Tom Herman is my guy. Mm-hmm. No offense to Coach Meyer, love him. He's a great coach, great mentor. But who's your guy? My guy is Tom Herman because Coach Meyer made that happen. Mm-hmm. So I am grateful for that. But yeah, I guarantee you, if any other guy was in that situation as well, he'd be like, "Oh man, this guy is awesome." Well, he been great. This is a product of the people you put around him. Now you just finally have an opportunity to see it because he's more of a position of impact. So I think that was the biggest thing. But I don't know what I changed. I stayed myself. I still BS'd around, and I think one thing Coach Meyer really saw that he got his routine. His kid got his routine. Is in a Big Ten championship game, and I threw the ball down the middle of the field. I have no clue why I did this. It almost got picked off. Jalen actually deflected it. And Coach Meyer, it was third down, and he freaking came over to me, and he was trying to I wouldn't say discipline me, but he was trying to talk to me, don't do that, you can't do that. Hey, remember this or whatever. But I waved him up, and I went to do my routine. I got me a Gatorade, got me a water, pound it real quick, jump on it with Coach Herman. What you see? Hey, he's coaching me up. I go to the guys, boom, dap them up, and hey, Coach, what's up now? Now, what's up, Coach? What you were saying when I come on? And this all happens within 2-3 minutes. Yeah. But I got my routine. I got my rhythm that's going to help me stay ready and locked into this game and this game plan. So, I was already preparing like a starter. I already had my mojo, and he was big on that. Get your routine. That was part of my routine.
I think we should grab a question before we go to Alabama game. Go over here.
Yeah.
Treway.
All right. So Blue Mountain State's like the big show when I'm in college.
Show.
So you're a backup the whole time.
I couldn't wait to be Alex Moran.
And that's exactly what I said. How close was your life to Alex Moran?
There it is.
Because I hope it was exactly the same.
Dude, okay, so Blue Mountain State came out right. Well, it actually was out. I didn't start watching it until my first quarter of college. So I'm just like,
you had no TV.
Yeah, I had no damn TV. I had no damn TV. And then I didn't at home and growing up, I didn't have cable either. Yeah. So I really didn't have TV. Really didn't. I had video games, but so I had no clue what Netflix was because it came out on Netflix. Netflix was the first kind of streaming thing, And I was just like, man, it's gonna be like that when I get this. But no, it was hilarious. I'm just like, I thought college was going to be similar to Blue Mountain State, but no, Blue Mountain State was ridiculous. I love that show, though. I love that show, but it was crazy, though. It was crazy. It's a good time.
See you later.
I remember being at a game at the Shoe. You was getting reps at quarterback. You may have even started. I honestly don't remember exactly what season it was, but it was against Illinois. And I just remember I didn't know anything about your relationship with this player on defense beforehand, but I remember you threw a quick pick, and you laid this motherfucker out right afterwards.
So first and foremost, it wasn't a pick.
But you,
I'm just joking. I know what you're talking about. So
but you got in his face, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Cardale smacked him, and then he's smiling in his grill. But then I was like, maybe he knows him. Or I was like, "All right."
So we play Illinois is mop up duty. So this is 14, and D'Angelo Bentley. I play high school ball with him.
There it is.
He's a year behind me. So I was getting ready to throw like a hitch or something like that. And this guy jumped right in front of it last minute. And it was one of those things that you throw it, he let go right to the ground. So they don't know if it was a fumble or not. So Illinois pick it up. He pick it up. And like the whistle don't blow. So everybody walking around for like a quick 2 seconds. Then he started running. I'm like, oh shit. So the funny part about that story is that we're taught it's great if you can make a tackle. But we're taught really to make the guy cut back. So he started running towards his sideline. So I'm taking an angle. Other sideline, hopefully he cuts back, right? And Dog, when Dog get out, he's gone. Like no one on our offense is going to catch him. Play corner. So as I'm doing that, I see one of our players get laid out. Jacoby Bourne. Ooh. Little short, fat hobbit. I love him to death.
Bomb.
You know when picks happen in football, you know the first person they go for, quarterback. Try to kill him. I see him get laid out, changed my mind about everything. So Jacoby got hammered. I'm talking about feet in the air. I'm like, that shit like it hurt. So I actually started running to our sideline.
Get away.
Get away. I started to go to our sideline. So I said, I'm not going to do this. And as I'm starting to run, for some reason, he was cutting back. So I'm like, oh, he's right here. Bow!
That's
I'm
hilarious.
like, oh, he's right here.
You weren't even trying to make the tackle.
No. I was trying to get away from all of that badness that happened to Jacoby. And I remember, so then I smack him, and we get back up. They realize, oh, it's incomplete pass. So I'm like, you got smacked for no reason. I'm like, oh, shit, Jacoby, you got smacked for no reason. I'm like, you got hammered. I'm like, you good, bro? He's like, who did it? I don't know. I didn't see him. I don't know. He's like, who fucking hit me? I'm like, I don't know which one it was, but it hurt. But he got laid out. But yeah. But the funny part about that too, though, so in that game, I tore Dog up twice that game. We was in a wildcat formation, and then we was rushing, and I lined up on the wrong side in wildcat where the reverse was coming. So now I'm a lead blocker. But we was rushing, so I'm like, fuck, okay. So as I'm looking at Jalen about to take the snap, I'm looking like, oh shit, the guy in motion is coming my way.
I'm on the wrong side.
I got a fucking block. I buried him. I took him to their sideline. I buried Dog like, oh, but it's on top of him like, I'm screaming like, I'm screaming at him like face to face. I'm going crazy. Man, I buried him. I'm like, oh, this blocking stuff is easy. Went back to my lineman days in Little League. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
Good. Trevon.
So who was like one player that was in the locker room that you really just like took something away from, like when you kind of like saw like their routine or something like that, and you were like, that's something that I kind of like want to emulate and to, make me the player that I can be.
I think it was JT. I think that year, that 14 season, we won a championship. And then 15, Braxton was in our room as much because he was a receiver. But it was JT because of how he prepared. And really, it was KG and JT because of how they prepared and how they got ready for things. And JT was my roommate in away games and home games as well. So watching him, I remember, when we played Virginia Tech, it was the only, bad, really horrible game of his career. He took a shower before the game or something like that. He's like, oh, I've never taken a shower before a game again. Like little things like that. Yeah. So he developed a routine that really helped him get success. And one of the things is the way he studied and how he compartmentalized the game plan. So I took that away from him. And Kenny was the same way.
All right, yeah, I say we go into the Sugar Bowl now.
Yeah,
so this was 2014. I was a sophomore, junior in high school watching this.
Jesus.
And I
feel old.
I remember feeling like this game was a national championship game.
Oh, I definitely think so.
So can you take us inside the locker room? Like what's happening there? Because that's also this is whenever ESPN, the committee were like they didn't want you guys in there with the loss of Virginia Tech.
Yeah, it was the first college football playoff, and all that stuff was such a hype. I remember driving up to Cleveland after the Big Ten championship game, and I get a call from the coach. I didn't have Coach Meyer's number. I he called me like 4 times. I'm ignoring this shit. I don't answer calls on my phone. He texts me, hey, his coach called me. I'm like, Coach who, motherfucker? So I answer, I hear his voice. You hear the news? You see the news? I'm like, what's up? I'm like, we in. I'm like, in what? Playoffs. He's like, we got Bama. Okay, cool. That's what they asked. Hey, go Bucks. So getting ready for that, I remember all the controversy because I think we jumped TCU and Baylor.
That was 7.
Yeah.
We was 6, I think. Yeah, we jumped TCU and Baylor, 4 and 5. Yeah. Just get ready for that game. I think we went into that situation, watched them on film, and said, yeah, this is a good team. They ain't unbeatable. This is one of the better teams they had and things like that. We know what we got to do. And watching them really diving deep into film, it was like, we don't know if they can play with us. Because we wasn't just tough. We wasn't just fast. We wasn't just physical. Yeah. We matched up really well on different areas. I loved our O-line versus their D-line. I loved our D-line versus their O-line. I loved our linebackers versus their running backs. I loved our corners versus Cooper. He was really the only guy that year. Mm-hmm. And, and I love our receivers versus their DBs. I think overall as a linebacker whole, I think I liked our running backs over them as well. So I'm like, where is the difference that they think they're going to have the edge? And if you really look into that game shouldn't have been that close. And I tell my buddies I played with them lead up, I said, you lucky. And then I said, you really lucky we didn't play y'all in 15 because we embarrassed y'all. Even though we slipped up to Michigan State and they beat Michigan, I said, we'd embarrassed y'all in 15. But I said that 14, it should have been out of it. It was like we were down, first of all, no one comes back from 13 on Alabama.
Yeah.
We was down 13 going into half laughing because we had almost 400 yards of offense. And we stalled twice on stupid stuff. And it was, and 2 stalls we had was my fault. Like freaking dropped the snap I knew it was about to pop. Dropped the snap on a pop pass. Like so anxious, they were freaking biting in on a quarterback run. I had 2 good rounds on that drop already, and I about to hit the pop pass, and I freaking dropped the snap. And then another one, I forgot what the other one was, but stalled 2 times in the red zone, like in the freaking 15, and then a few other things that they scored off like fluke crap.
You was moving the ball easy, as to your point,
moving
right?
the
Like
ball.
you knew that.
Moving the ball. They were getting the flukish freaking 3rd down conversions. I mean, they had a few trick plays. I'm like, when do Alabama run trick plays? Like that's when you're in trouble.
Matchup you saw. That's
why.
Why.
That's when you're in trouble. When you got to go out of character like that. Yeah. We did what we did. I mean, they had a few good drives where Herron and Yost with TJ Yeldon. And those guys were just pounding and getting 5 a pop. After a while, that shit stopped. Yeah. That shit hurt, right? So I loved our matchup versus them. And like I tell guys, looking at what we did, how we start, I said the game shouldn't have been that close. I'm sorry. So we had all the confidence in the world.
Yeah. Once y'all had beat Bama, I was like,
I booked my
no
tickets
one had a
for
chance.
Dallas as soon
No
as
one
y'all
had
beat
it.
Bama.
It didn't matter. No one had a chance that year.
After that, I was like, they about to win the national championship.
Yeah, the way strictly the way Florida State would play, Joey Bosa would have had 6 sacks.
Right.
So it would have been mad for Jameis that year, I think. But I mean, it don't matter because we didn't play them. I would love to play Florida State. I was a huge Jameis. I'm still a huge Jameis fan.
Everyone loves Jameis.
I was huge. I'm a Mariota fan too.
Yeah. He's still balling.
Yeah. And, I mean, overall, both of those programs. I was a huge Florida State and huge Oregon fan. They time with Chip Kelly. They time with Jimbo Fisher. So I would love to play either one. But Oregon.
Y'all just looked unstoppable, though. And I think everyone knew it, including Marcus Mariota.
Well, when they came down and scored the opening drive, I was like, uh-oh.
He did.
Uh-oh. It was like, shootout, here we come. Yeah. Because I knew they couldn't stop us on offense. And I knew our defense would, eventually. Because the thing was, our defense, I remember that whole kind of getting ready for that game was, getting them into 3rd and long, right? Like 3rd and 7, 8. Because Oregon was averaging like, 6 yards to play. And because they was playing so fast.
Yeah, real fast.
They was playing so fast. I think they was getting a snap off in 13 seconds or 16 seconds, I think it was. So that's how I went. But yeah, that was definitely a national championship game. I think Alabama. And us.
Yo, was Urban giving some like locker rocker speeches for those games? Like how juiced up were you guys like going into Bama and Oregon?
I think if you're not already self-juiced up and hype, and you can speak to this as well. I don't know if you guys ever played sports at a high level, but it's nothing that anyone can say to get me ready for Alabama.
Yeah.
Like if I gotta tell you coach, you teammate, you assistant coach, get ready or how to feel, then I probably got the wrong people in the locker room.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to games like that, they getting you ready Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when Saturday comes, it's like, you know what? I don't even need to say nothing because
Yeah.
we done coached y'all up and got y'all prepared. If y'all ain't ready now, then don't even go out there.
You don't need a
Exactly.
cute
Don't
speech
even
at
go
the
out
end.
there. Yeah, you know what I'm
And it's
saying?
cool.
Like,
It's cool to give you one, but
Yeah.
it's like, you know, because that's your MO as a coach and things like that. But it's not much. I mean, I go blank anyway. You know, like if people actually, you know, tell me like, oh, how loud is it playing? I'm like, I have no clue. I go blank because you're so dialed into something. I'm like, I don't hear anything.
yeah.
I don't hear anything. I said, like, when I speak, I can hear myself very clearly. I don't, like, in those situations, and I'm not talking about just big games, period. I don't hear nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
You're so locked in.
yeah, you're so locked into
Yeah.
something, and then you saw this on film so many times, and you prepared so hard, you wanted that bad. I don't think it's hard to get you out that zone. Like, yeah, it's times where, you know, I think I snapped one time in the locker room when someone, you know, I was in that kind of getting ready to be in that zone, and someone kind of almost interrupted, and I was like, don't do that, like. You know, that's like it reminds me of like you never wake up someone sleepwalking.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think it is.
So you have 3 amazing games, you know what I'm saying, that kind of put your stamp on Ohio State that you basically became a legend.
Appreciate it.
This motherfucker should never buy a drink in the city.
True.
Facts.
Well, Boone always make me buy him drinks. When
Well,
we go.
yeah, maybe for Boom.
So,
But real talk though,
Sure.
with that situation,
Yeah.
shut it down.
That's
So I want to ask you because, I mean, obviously, it was only 3 or 4 games, whatever it was. The scouts got to be talking.
yeah,
The league had to be. It had to be. Were you close to even leaving?
Personally, no, because I did not have enough time to think about it. You know, with the college football playoffs happening, you know, it extended the season by roughly like almost 2 weeks, and it got into the declare date. So we got done playing Monday, flew back Tuesday. You had to declare for the draft Thursday.
Oh wow.
So but originally, the season would end January 1 after the bowl game. So you had about 10 to 2 weeks to decide. Well, I had 20 hours. So I'm still on cloud 9 of what just happened. I don't sleep after the game. We win a championship. For first, I didn't sleep 2 days prior to the game. I didn't sleep like zero sleep, like not even. Let me take a nap. I dead ass didn't sleep 2 days prior to the national championship game. Play that game. It's that night game. It's a long night. I'm like, I remember like, damn, now it's over. First thing I think, I'm gonna get some great sleep. Like when I wake up, like now I can enjoy it. I'm like, I'm gonna be so tired.
Yeah.
Didn't sleep. We go out, you know.
Of course.
Of course.
I
We
mean,
go out, and by the time we walking back into the hotel, I'm talking about walking back into the hotel. I gotta hurry up and go get dressed because I got an interview in 30 minutes. Yeah, in the morning, the next morning, we got to do the interview after the game and all this other crap. And that's when they asked me about the draft. I'm like, the draft? Okay, I said I got some time to think about it. Like, well, yeah, it's Thursday to declare. I'm like, when is Thursday? Because I'm literally like, when is Thursday? Because all my days are running together.
Yeah.
So now I'm running on 4.5 days of no sleep. So my days are running together. I'm thinking I'm thinking we just, and then I'm stupid. I'm still thinking we just played on Saturday. You know, so they're like, in a day and a half. They laughing. I'm like, oh. I'm like, I'll think about it. I'm like, okay, let me get home. So I sleep on the plane. We go back, you know, that morning. And I go up to Cleveland. We got class. And I'm just like, Coach, I'm like, you know, we had people at the stadium. I mean, when we pulled up, you know, everybody who knew where I lived at. It's crazy. I'm like, Coach, I can't. I need a few days, like, to get away from campus. I can't go to class right now. Clearly.
Yeah,
There's no way I can go to class.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't here to play school. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
So I don't go to class. And I go back up with my family to Cleveland and really try to talk about that draft stuff. And I sleep like I crashed. Like I hit a wall from that Tuesday to like almost Thursday morning.
Man, I've been
I
climbing
sleep.
in my childhood bed like.
Yeah, I freaking sleep for the first time, and I like sleep almost a whole day. So I wake up, trillion missed calls.
Yeah.
Right, because Urban, I'm thinking I'm not answering the calls. I'm declaring. I'm leaving. Right?
I thought you was 1,000,000% going.
Yeah.
To
So, but then he don't have a, and then if I leave, he don't have a quarterback for spring. Remember, JT and Braxton are still out. So he don't have a quarterback for spring. And I just had this conversation with Kobe Bryant, Christian little brother, last night. I said, if NIL was around after that, you'd have to pay me to practice. I left you with one quarterback, and the quarterback they wasn't high on, to my opinion, was my guy Stephen Cowher, who had all the ability to play there. They just didn't give him a real opportunity. But knowing that how they felt about him, I would have held Ohio State by the freaking balls. You got to pay me to practice now. And I need $2 million under the table.
Under the table.
Under the freaking tax
I
free.
ain't paying taxes.
Or I'm out of here.
Straight cash.
Or I'm not just transferring. I'm not going to practice. You're not going to see me. No, I wouldn't have done that. But I would have definitely had some type of, it had to be incentivized NIL to come back that year, right? Knowing what was waiting on me, what JT and Braxton returning to. So
if you could do it all over again, would you, like the way everything played out, would you come back or would you go?
I still come back. I wasn't personally ready for the league.
Got it.
I wasn't ready for the league. To my knowledge, some coaches, it was rumors that may help that decision by, clearly now all the buzz about this after winning championship is, okay, where this guy been all year? Why hasn't he been playing? Like, he's a lot better than these other guys. Like, that's the buzz, from the people who just got opinions that don't
your
mean
stock
anything.
was hot. Bro.
Exactly. But so, and on top of that, then, all that buzz coming out, and then what it forced people and power to make comments of it. People like coaches, I don't know who, but it was mature level. It was intelligence. It was ability and all this other crap that really would have put a damper on my status. I don't know how much it would have put a damper on it, but it would have put me in a position to answer questions that, like, come on, I've been answering these all. Well, I'd have been comfortable. I'd have had to answer these all through the draft process. Why wouldn't you plan already? Coaches say you immature. Is that true? What about your tweet? And I still had to answer some of those questions the following year. Yeah. But after coming off a high I was on, and then knowing that these guys I'm in the locker room with, or these coaches that I'm playing for, and would try to sabotage my dream, that's how I felt about it. So I was a little bitter about that too during spring, especially when things didn't go my way. Because first thing you think about when things didn't go your way, I should have left.
Yeah, that's why.
But personally,
that's why I kind of asked. Like,
of course.
Looking back, what you got to do as a pro. You don't think you was ready though?
No, of course not. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to really be in that atmosphere, I think. And when it comes to just being a pro's pro, I mean, you guys, I still was being late for tutors and shit. So I still missing tutoring.
I respect the honesty.
Coming up with bullshit ass excuses. Oh, I ain't see it on my schedule. And I'm looking at that shit like, man, fuck that shit. That's not taking your pockets on elite, and that's not good.
Yeah.
So some of the things they were saying or that may have came out was, I mean, true to a certain extent. That
partially true.
Yeah, but I'm just like, me still somewhat immature, learning how to be a quarterback, learning how to
still immature, bro.
Nah, fuck you up. But no, See? But me learning how to be a quarterback and be a guy, I'm thinking to myself, oh no, they should look out for me, man. They shouldn't have said that, But it's just honestly, so that's how it all went, man.
Trouble.
Yeah. So, like, you come back from winning that national championship, and you said you went home. But what was your status like on campus when you came back? Like, could you not do the same things you did before?
Well, I never did anything. I'm not an out person. I'm excited about this weekend because I haven't been out forever. We're going to a concert, but I'm not an out person. I wasn't drinking. I mean, I have a drink occasionally, maybe. I didn't do a lot of things our teammates were into as far as just hanging out with each other. But our hangouts was always at my place. Me and my roommate Tyler Spot, we had both game systems, so we always had all the guys over there playing video games. That was my hangout, But when classes, I remember, we went to spring ball. It was our first spring ball that we started to do morning practices. So you had to schedule your classes for late noon type of things. So my first class, I think, was like at 12:20, and it was sign language. And I remember my first maybe 3 or 4 weeks, some days I was coming a couple of minutes late and things like that because I'm hurrying up from spring ball, showering up. You got to check into the training table, jump in the car, head to campus, find parking, get to class. Like, trying to get there. And, my professor emailed our coaches talking about, I'm always late, I'm a distraction in class and things like that. And I'm just like, what? I'm a distraction in class. And so it's my fault we have people, and I'm in class, that will see me and go fucking ballistics and banging on the door trying to get my attention. You don't think I'm distracted from that when literally I have to pay attention to the person like when I'm having conversation in sign language? You don't think sometimes I do that and I miss something important or you speaking and you talking about I'm the distraction? And I remember this is the first time I regretted I should have left. I'm like, lady, I turned down millions of dollars for one reason only, to finish my degree. Like, I know I said class are points, all this other stuff. I said, but check my transcripts. I'm a really good student. I take this shit serious.
Yeah.
You know, so I was really extremely disappointed and aggravated with that. And I thought that was more of a power trip than anything. Because I'm like, the 2 or 3 minutes I'm late to class where people still taking off their book bags, are you kidding me?
Yeah, come on.
Like, are you kidding me?
They're looking for a reason.
Yeah, so I thought that was a power trip. And I ran into a few of those. Now, you know, clearly I'm pretty sure all the professors knew about the tweet 2 years prior.
Yeah.
But now 2 years prior, he don't care about class. Oh, he wants to have, let me humble his eyes. And I ran into a few professors like that. And
But for hard for probably a lot of athletes.
I know I did. Because, you know, after that tweet, I remember getting emails from professors and our coaches telling me, like, yeah, you know, I'm paying, you know, $20,000, $30,000 a year for my kid to come here. This kid getting it for free, and he wiping his, you know, butt with education and stuff like that. And so I dealt with that early on. I'm an 18-year-old kid dealing with that stuff. So now I'm a little more mature. I'm 20, and I'm just like, yo, we going to have to talk about this. Like, because I'm not going to allow you to. Because I had a professor say something really fly to me in front of the class. And I stayed out of the class. I was like, hey, listen, I don't know what you think this is. Like, I have never came off as disrespectful, entitled, acting like I'm that guy. And I said, I didn't appreciate that comment. You know, simple. And I said, I hope we don't have to deal with this again. I said, because I said, I'm going to tell my advisor. Yeah. Either get me out of the class or they got to do something with you. Because this was your, because you, I mean, I don't know if you had a professor like that going on a power trip, make sure, like, you know, like, okay, yeah, football, let me show who's boss.
I mean, come on. There's always that professor.
That's their mini Super Bowl.
Yeah, but the great thing about it, though, and, you know, Ohio State's a great university. And I spent 4 years there, got a degree there, and had a lot of great professors. And I'm so fortunate it only happened 2 or 3 times with only 1 or 2 professors. Mm-hmm. You know, it could be 10 times worse, but you got those.
I can't imagine now. You got to think.
Well, guys probably pull up with money.
That's what I'm saying.
They make way more money than
yeah, he's probably making more money than the professor, or the professor probably still paying off student loans or debt. Yeah. You know, this guy pull up in a Gucci bag. You know, probably not even paying attention in class. You know, not here at Ohio State though, because we take this serious. Other universities, probably like other universities, but.
Tyler?
I got 2 questions. I'll make it real quick. I like asking every guest that comes in just to get that perspective. So, outside of the Horseshoe, what were your top 3 favorite college venues to play in?
Oh, wow. Virginia Tech was number 1. I think.
That's a first.
Yeah, that. I don't know if a lot of guys play there.
No. That's the first time we've heard.
Yeah, man, that atmosphere was ridiculous. I think the Sugar Bowl was like a home game for Alabama. That was pretty cool, being hostile. And then I would say Penn State. Even though I only had 1 snap at Penn State, that was insane. Yeah. That was insane. The whiteout was crazy. But, yeah, the shoe, I don't think nothing really compares to, especially at night. No. But if I had to say something that compares closer to the shoe, I would have to say Penn State.
Nice. So you briefly mentioned when you were talking about that Alabama game, you said if y'all had to play us in 2015, it would have been no question. Like
hammer time.
Hammer time.
Hammer
so
time.
I think many people thought that too. Not only going into that season, but afterwards, they're like, "Man, what happened with how that season ended?" What I mean, was it a bunch of contributing factors? Was there like if you could have just tweaked 1 or 2 things?
I think it was a bunch of contributing factors of that 15 season. It was the worst season I've ever been a part of in football, and I'm including my rookie year in the NFL. And I think the way, and I'm on record saying this, and I said this to the people who made the decision. I think because of the way the coaches handled it, we had a lot of talent coming back. Right, you had 3 quarterbacks that was all in the Heisman race, Heisman favorites. You had a running back that was favored with Heisman top 5 odds. Right, so you had guys, and then you had a young emerging Curtis Samuel who could take the ball out the backfield, or at receiver. You still have returning Michael Thomas, who was projected to be a top NFL pick like he was. Jalen Marshall, Dontre Wilson. Right, and that's just on the offensive side of the ball, and I'm not even talking about, you know, the young Paris's and you know, Terry McLaurin and all those guys.
List goes on.
So we was like, okay, we get to spring ball, we having a good time. We like, okay, this is cool, you know, whatever. Then we realized all the talent. Then we said, oh shit, it's only 1 football. It's only one football. Now I'm still, we got to count. We said that because the quarterbacks were still rehabbing. So I think the coaches' mindset was to try to keep everybody happy, when our mindset was we just want to win. We understand that we didn't want a multiple quarterback system, and we was very clear about that. Somebody's gonna have to bite the bullet. If it was me or whoever, we want what I asked for Urban, and he never promised me anything when I came back to school. I said I want a fair shot to be the guy. That's it. Fair shot.
Just open it up.
Just open it up. I want a fair shot. That's it. I ain't asking you to guarantee me nothing. I ain't asking you to promise me nothing. I ain't asking you to give me nothing. I want a fair shot to be the guy. That's all I want. Because all up to this point in my career, I don't think it's been fair. And he said that. And then even going to 15, I don't think it was fair either. But anyway. So,
I think that's a fair question.
Yeah.
After you just win a title.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm your guy.
Yeah.
I know what we got coming back. Where do you view me? You got Braxton coming back. You got JT coming back. Those are guys. How you value me? Simple. Yeah. And then on top of that, our offensive coordinator Tom Herman left too. So
that was a big.
Yeah, that was huge. That was huge for me personally. So we go into that season and saying we got one football and all these amazing playmakers around the field, and the coaches did such a horrible job of putting us in position to have success, because they tried to, outside of having game plans, they tried to game plan for players. Like, okay, this is a game plan for Curtis Samuel. This is a game plan for Braxton Miller. This is a game plan for JT's at quarterback. This is a game plan for Cardale's at quarterback. It was horrible. It was the worst dysfunctional thing I ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. And I remember almost each and every week I was calling Coach Herman at Houston like, man, can you call these guys and tell them, like, bro, what the is going on? Like, this is terrible. Like, this is ruining our team. And we still winning games up to this point, but we knew the writing was on the walls. This is going to cost us. Our defense was amazing. They bailed us out so much in that 15 season, but, we just played so bad as a unit because our coordinator, and there's no offense to Ed Warner, he wasn't a great coordinator. He wasn't a great coordinator. He coordinated by trying to get the line involved in the game plan and try to do all these dinks and dunks and all this other BS. Now you're looking at it, it's 3rd and 8, and then you tell the quarterback to go complete a 3rd and 8. Well, no, fucker, you go complete a 3rd and 8. They know it's a pass coming. They know it's a pass coming. Yeah. And see how easy that is.
Yeah.
So little things like that really boiled over in that 15 season, and they caught up with us versus Michigan State, right? Zeke was dealing with, some health issues early on in the week, but, if the guy's strapped up and the warrior he is, he's ready to go, let's lean on his horse.
Let him go, yeah.
Let this dog eat. It was a rainy game that we lost. They hit a game-winning field goal on us. That game shouldn't have been nowhere close. And, they got the ups to go to the Big Ten championship game and ultimately play in the college football playoffs. We would have destroyed Alabama that year. That probably would have set that program back. How bad we'd have beat them, I think. I think clearly we can always talk about that, right? Yeah. Who knows?
I like it.
So that's the sucky part, because I don't think they handled that situation well. And outside of all the other players, especially with the quarterbacks.
Appreciate you breaking that down.
Yeah, great answer.
Yeah, so you tweet about going to school to play football, not school. So you send off that tweet from your phone, and when you set your phone down, when was that realization that tweet was a little bit bigger than just a thought?
Never. Actually, I thought it was an amazing tweet. So I make this argument. Yeah, I did. I'm gonna kid you guys not.
Clip that.
Yeah, I make this argument all the time that I blew up Twitter. So Twitter had just came out. No, seriously.
You and Ocho Cinco.
No, seriously, dead ass though. Mm-hmm. Twitter had just really came out.
Yeah.
And I remember when that tweet came out the next day, it's all over. It's on Good Morning America. Yeah. It's on Fox. It's on ESPN. It's on everywhere. Yeah. So I remember the one headline saying on Twitter. Good Morning America, on the new social media platform, Twitter, like she even didn't say it right. A student athlete at Ohio State, Cardale Jones, tweeted, like she tried to say it correctly, and she mentioned it, right? And everybody like, Twitter, you can a social Twitter. In case someone, Twitter is a social app where you can have conversations up to 160 characters and like all this other stuff. Like you couldn't do DMs yet, or you couldn't put pictures on Twitter yet. So I make the argument. I blew up Twitter, but anyways,
Twitter owe you a check.
Yeah, I mean they should.
Shout out Elon.
Yeah, Elon, bro.
What up? Where you at?
Yeah, your boy forgot to leave you that memo. I mean that invoice for me, huh? But no, so going through that stage, I remember, tweeting that, and, I get a lot of retweets, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I got like 10 retweets. I'm the fucking man now. Right? So I remember, leaving the class after that tweet and getting a call. I'm getting calls from my academic advisor guy or counselor, guidance, whatever these guys was, to help us with the tutoring schedule. I forgot what their titles are. And he's like, hey, Cardale, we need you to come over to the facility. I'm at the facility. I said, I got one more class. Like, no, come to the facility now. Okay, cool. I'll be over to the facility. I remember walking over to the facility and walking up the hall by the weight room, and some guys, Jack Mewhorn and a few other guys was leaving from getting a workout. They're like, oh, man, your tweets everywhere, man. You're stupid for tweeting that, man. Oh, man, you're so stupid. I'm like, you know, Jack is, oh, man, you're so stupid. Like, oh, man, you're stupid.
They're clowning you.
So I'm like, no, that's pretty sweet, though. They're like, yeah, it was true, but you shouldn't have said it. Should have said it. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, though. So now I walk into Coach Meyer's office. I walk in, is Pierre is my guy for our tutors and stuff like that. Gene, the AD, position coach, Coach Meyer, and the president in his office. So I'm sitting there. Well, I walk in, and Pierre is in front, and all those guys right there. So he's looking at me like, Cardale, I was telling him, you just broke up with your girl, and she had, hacked your phone, and she was tweeting that stuff from your Twitter earlier. I'm like, nah, bro, that was me.
He tried to give you a Nerf hoop alley-oop.
So mind you, all of you guys behind him, he's in front of me. He look at me like this. You son of a bitch. And then I'm like, oh.
I didn't pick up what she was putting down.
Yeah, that bitch. She's fucking horrible. I hate her. She broke my heart and then broke my phone. I'm trying to I'm like, oh. So Coach Herman in the back, he must have already knew what Coach Herman in the back like this. Oh. He just ruined the plan. So we'll deal with this later because we're in the season. We're it's a 12-0 season. We're 7-0, getting ready to play the biggest game of the season. Night game versus Nebraska. Nebraska first year in the Big Ten. And we're even though we can't play in a bowl game, we're it's a top 10 matchup, I think. Mm-hmm. So coach is like, yeah, you're suspended, man. Don't even come to the game tomorrow. And all this other crap. And I'm just like, well, shit, I ain't playing anyway. All right. Bet. I'll catch y'all. Good luck. I'll fuck with y'all. I was like, all right, shit, I'm chilling tonight then, man. Fuck it.
What'd you do, play some NCAA or what?
Man, yeah, I was probably playing video games
all right,
all
speaking
night.
of NCAA, I got to bring this up.
I whooped his ass.
You already know
I
I'm
whooped
this.
his ass.
All right, yes,
Roll
all right,
for that,
we
man.
got to break it down. So there's the headline. Cardale Jones visit kids in hospital to play video games. Beats him 91-35 in NCAA. Yes. And then you said
it's 98.
It was 98.
It's 98.
All right, so take us there. What happened?
I tried to drop 100.
Damn.
So we were getting ready for Alabama, and Zach Smith, who was a receiver coach at the time with us, and he had his prior relationship with this Foley family, Jared. And Jared was going through some tough times at health-wise to this point. I mean, tough times all his life, really, with health. And I was in a facility studying late and stuff like that, me and Johnny Dixon, and because he got some catches for me and stuff. And he was another unsung hero of all of that for me because he was my guy I can count on. And, he's a young guy. I mean, he had no choice. He's a young guy, come catch these balls. You know what I'm saying? Good dude. So we literally, me and him at the facility getting some work, man, this had to be 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. It's a day or so before we leave for the Sugar Bowl. Mm-hmm. So Zach, me and him walking out, and Zach is leaving out too. He's like, hey, where you guys going? I'm like, well, I'm about to drop him off, and then I'm going home. He's like, you guys mind stopping up at the hospital with me? I'm like, okay, cool. What's up? He gives us the background. So we get there and meet him, and we hang out with the family. I think Jared's going to surgery, the next morning. And we just talking, and then, he say something about video games, and I'm like, oh, I play video games, my shit. That's what I do. I said, what you play? I said, what system you like? Xbox. I was like, I don't really play that. But I get down, I dabble. You know what I'm saying? I dabble in it. He said, you want to play NCAA? I said, I play. Okay, cool. We studying it up and stuff. He picks Georgia at all schools too. He's a big Georgia fan. And I'm looking at the family, I'm like, you guys expect me to let him win? How should I play this? They're like, no, he's really good. I'm like, okay, cool. As a matter of fact, I kicked the ball off. He take the opening kick off to the house on my ass. They like, oh, I told you.
Oh, so it was on. I stand up.
All right. I put myself in. Boy, stats was stupid. With him.
I put myself in.
And then I blitzed his ass every play. He ain't know what hit him.
Word.
I blitzed him every play. So I won. Yeah, like I told y'all. I think somebody in the room asked, like, okay, I think the game is over. No, it ain't over till it's over. I'm up like 80 points. No, it ain't over till it's over. I ain't.
Beat him 98 to whatever with playing yourself.
Yeah, and I was calling timeouts with like 4 seconds left, trying to get 100.
Man,
Yeah, I was trying to win. Yeah. I'm all about tough love, though. I still talk to the family. Jared, I just talked to Jared like 2 days ago.
Have you guys like done a rematch or anything?
Nah, he don't want that shit. He trying to get me to play NHL. I'm
Oh,
bro,
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
playing that. Come on, what are you talking about? I don't even know the team names. Columbus Crew, is that on the game? Like that's or is it
Yeah,
Crew
it's
soccer?
MLS.
Crew
Is it
soccer.
Crew
Yep.
soccer?
Blue Jackets.
Blue
Blue
Jackets. Yeah. It's like, bro, I don't know no hockey player. I like going to games, but I have no clue who these guys are.
So good.
Sweet though.
I think we want to talk about your NFL career, but more so, I want to get into this NIL thing that you done tapped into because we all know,
Yeah, it's crazy. You guys were before your time.
Yeah.
You guys were before your time, man. That's crazy to see how, I had when DeVere kind of retired, I want to say 3 years ago, and we kind of reconnected because clearly I missed you guys. I would have played a year with you guys, and he talked about so much stuff, especially when NIL was on the table at the house about getting passed, and he made some great points of all these people were pushing forward was all these people calling for your head. Mm-hmm. When you guys basically did that, you guys were before your time in your mindset of didn't want to get taken advantage of and understood what you meant to the university and really not to the university, but I tell people all the time, Ohio State football is really a huge factor of economics for the state.
Oh,
1,000%.
It's ridiculous. And I
Hey,
say, if you don't,
they win a bowl game, you're gonna see some construction going up around.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. I'm like, dude, they still spending money for the national championship game. That was like 8 years ago, and I'm like, you see all these things and all this innovation when the team usually does really well. And I'm like, if someone don't understand the impact that Ohio State has on, not just city of Columbus, but I give you that example since it's here. I said, dude, like, Michigan game, we all in, at the game laughing, sweets and stuff, and what we doing after this? Let's go. And we're fortunate enough to be able to walk into a crowded restaurant and they can pull some strings to, to get us a seat, no matter how big our group usually is. And when I say after that loss, I mean, you can park on High Street. Who does that? How can you park on High Street after a game? You can park on High Street. You think about all the money that the hotels lost because people like, what, screw it, I'm going home. I'm not staying the extra night.
Yeah.
Or the restaurant canceling reservations. It's true. Right? Or y'all the parking on the bars losing out on all that stuff. So I'm like, it's deeper than people think. But you guys already understood that. And everybody was benefiting from it. And just like the way college athletics always been, everybody's benefiting from it but the players. But you tell the players to be happy with it because we give you 4 sweatsuits. I tell people all the time, like, I would easily take $100,000 career that I can have for 30, 35 years over a 8-year football career, making league minimum. Because it's not guaranteed you walk away with your health.
Facts.
True.
So usually people want to try to make the argument of, I got student loans though. Okay, you want student loans or medical bills? Which one do you think is more expensive with certain these injuries these guys have after the sport? And I'm not talking about the sport after they make maybe $1 million or $2 million in the league or play 3 or 4 years. I'm talking about these they can sustain here in college. So it's like comparing apples and oranges. You can't say like they should be happy with the sweatsuits. Like, what are you talking about? You should be happy with the sweatsuits, but that building you're sitting in and learning is from me. So what are you talking about? You wouldn't be sitting in that doctor's role if it wasn't because of us. You think Les Wegner's want to, and I will make this argument, I don't know if it's true, but I would be inclined to say he want to donate to Ohio State and have something going forward. And I think what people think of Ohio State, what do they think of?
Of course.
Football.
Football.
Yeah. Speaking of that, heavy hitters, you get to work with Brian a lot, right?
Yeah, it's my partner.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've known Brian. I've been around him off and on, and he seems like a solid dude. So talk about kind of your process of working with working with a family member that has that type of like this, like in the community from granddad all the way through uncles, aunts, like they just ball. Like
you know
it's
what?
support.
You know, one thing I can say about Brian and the Schottenstein family, the side that his dad, his mom, Gary, Terry, Brett, and Corey, and these guys, and his sister, is that, you know, what really attracted me to them is their work ethic. You know, I'm thinking, you know, I got the somewhat immature mindset sometimes when I think of certain things, and I'm just like, this dude probably silver spoon, ain't worked hard in his life, benefiting from generational wealth, you know, whatever, like spending generational wealth money and no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But when I say those guys, grinders.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have started the foundation, I wouldn't have started this or jumped into this venture with anybody else outside of Brian.
Yeah.
You know, because I see the work that he put in to continue to build
There you go.
his family legacy and that Schottenstein name versus just living off of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a huge difference, you know.
He's propelling it forward. He could camp out, I'm
Exactly,
sure, but he is
exactly.
not. That's
And-
for sure.
and exactly. And likewise with Corey, I'm pretty sure, you know, the other family members are like that as well. But those are two guys I'm extremely close with. And, you know, my buddy Corey, his brother, you know, built an unbelievable spec home down in Florida that he was stressing about, you know, that he wanted everything to be perfect because he wanted to sell this clearly for millions and millions of dollars, and it happens. But I know the work that it went into that thing, you know, his time, effort, energy, not just with the builders, but the realtor and the broker and all this other stuff. And same with Brian with all his communities around here, you know, so knowing that I'm going to have a partner that's going to work just as hard as me for a cause that we both are passionate about in the NIL world, it made it an easy decision for me to get involved with him.
Well, and that can move the needle, man, because you guys can get real stuff done with having a powerhouse like that behind you.
Yeah, we try. I mean, we run into our hurdles with NIL, and I mean, we're a nonprofit. You know, we don't take a salary from this. This has cost both us a lot of money, time, effort, and energy. But, you know, like I said, we both believe it's for a great cause. These players deserve to capitalize on their name, image, and likeness. We're just one asset and one aspect of it, one entity for them to capitalize on their name, image, and likeness through us with the foundation and, you know, getting involved with our charitable partners. So we're extremely grateful and understand that our role is significant enough to be a deciding factor in some of these guys' recruiting decisions.
Oh, yeah.
You know, having something like this in place that Ohio State football and basketball players are going to benefit from, potentially going to benefit from. Hopefully we get to a point where we're not just impacting the whole team, but all 36, 38 sports of Ohio State.
That got to feel good for you to know, like, because you know that there's kids that they ain't playing in the league, man.
Of course,
But
I
they
made
can
that
benefit
argument.
their family right now.
Yeah, I made that argument. You know, I had a great opportunity to testify at the State House to get the bill passed. And not saying that my testimony was the deciding factor, but it was pretty cool to see. And I really argued for the Olympic sport athletes, not just the football. I'm like, the football and basketball, they're going to get their money because they're the breadwinners. They're on ESPN every day. Like, they're going to get their money. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you don't even have to be a top quarterback at a place like Ohio State. You're going to make at
You
least
get something.
You're going to make six figures in NIL. And not saying you're not a top quarterback. I mean, they got great quarterbacks here, but that's just the nature of the beast, right? But the Olympic, I was really vouching for the Olympic sport athletes because they're on partial scholarships. And they put in just as much time, effort, and energy as anyone else, right? I mean, these guys are and girls are practicing all, you know, for 3.5 years, 4 years for, you know, a race, you know, to get to that point in the Olympics, to get to compete against the world, which is super cool, I think, to say that you're the best in the world at something. You know, can you imagine if they had Olympics in football? I mean, the U.S. I mean, no, I actually don't want to imagine that. The U.S. would kill everybody.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It'd be like the
would,
dream team
yeah,
back in the day.
It actually would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Now I think about it, oh my God, no. But yeah, so I think what me and Brian is doing and trying to build here with the foundation is just one entity of NIL that we want to continue to make bigger and better.
That's cool.
Is there an age limit?
I tell you got one more year. I tell you got one more year eligibility. So,
Can you get a retroactive deal for Boom?
exactly. Let's see. But no, that's the cool thing about it. Like, you know, like I said, you guys were so before your time of really understanding. And I still don't think NCAA got it right with NIL, saying, okay, you guys can go make money on your NIL, right? Because it'll never be fair. I always vouch for the school should be paying the players. Yep. You know, you Ohio State came out that the football program made over, you know, $60 or $70 million, something like that. And how much of that goes to football? And you tell them, oh, yeah, instead of 3
funds
sweatsuits
the
this year,
rest.
we're going to get you 4.
Yeah. It funds
With that
everything
$80
else.
million we just won, right? We just made off ticket sales and off all this other stuff. We're going to give you 4 sweatsuits. Like, come on, man. You can't tell me that with their net profit, you can't allocate a percentage of that to the football program and then you divide it up however you got to divide it up. I don't know if it's position based. I don't know if it's snap based, but you are in position to give everybody something.
Oh, yeah. So it
And
almost,
NIL is not.
you
Big
really think it almost
business.
should be like salaries at this point? Like
That's what it should be,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
And you know, and you still give kids the opportunity to capitalize on their name, image, and likeness. But now you don't have to worry about trying to keep everybody happy because the coaches don't control NIL, but which means they also don't control if your left tackle isn't getting no NIL dollars and your quarterback is.
Yeah.
Because the quarterback's getting it for these businesses. Because if I'm a business and I'm saying I want to maximize my spending ability, I want to maximize my marketing, I want to maximize my exposure, who I'm going to do a deal with, the quarterback or the left tackle? The motherfucker who's throwing touchdowns and face all over social media and the TV, or the guy who's burying motherfuckers and nobody even watching?
The dynamic that would be weird, I think, in college versus the pros. To your point, there's a baseline in the pros. Everybody's getting paid something that's life changing to some degree. But if you're left tackle, you making no dough, and C.J. Stroud's clipping $1 million, and he's making more than a position coach probably. Like that's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, of course.
If you got the wrong, it could get real weird.
Yeah. I think it adds another element of recruiting because now you got to recruit the right guys when it comes to character development.
Yeah.
When it just comes to the mature level, because you're still dealing with really starting recruiting 16-year-old kids, 16 to 20-year-old kids, right? And they can't see past tomorrow. So it's hard to tell that left tackle, just giving an example, it's hard to tell that left tackle, like, hey, I know you're only making $50,000 in NIL this year, but guess what? You're going to make $30 million in the league because you're going to be a top 5 pick. No, he want that right now.
Right.
He want to, But so the coaches can't say, hey, freaking Trader Joe's, you did a deal with CJ. Go do a deal with my left tackle too to keep him happy, keep my locker room happy. Trader Joe's like this, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it's, like I said, it's crazy dynamic. But if the universities were to adapt a strategy like that, and then I think you're going to have more issues when this new TV deal come out when SC and UCLA gets to the Big Ten, because now all that money where's this TV deal coming from? What do they want to see? I get so frustrated with this because we try to act like the NCAA try to act like, oh man, it's just something that we want to do. This money's going to go to the university. Well, guess what? Ain't nobody turning TV on Saturdays to watch somebody walk past the Oval. Or go to the Thomas, I think that's the name of the library, the Thompson.
Thompson.
The library.
Thompson.
Yeah, the cool ass library.
must have been there
They're not.
I
They're
was
not.
there. I've been there.
Yeah,
It's
the
nice.
ESPN ain't about to go record. Somebody go do a tour to Thompson. They turning that shit on because they want to see these guys play football.
Facts.
And so you want to say, oh, this TV deal is great for the university. No, it's what is it used for, dude? Like they're not going to see a penny of that. Oh yeah, they make it not 4 sweatsuits, maybe 5. So it's so frustrating when.
It's
you
making
guys
progress,
See
but it
all
ain't
this
there.
money. Yeah, you see all this money that's made on the back of these student athletes. And I'm not just talking about football. Clearly, the football and some basketball programs around the country is the generating revenue sports. But football here at Ohio State and basketball, I would argue more so football, funds everything. Funds it all.
I'm not sure if this is something that y'all do, but do y'all play a big part in recruiting?
Well, so with NCAA rules and regulations, we are allowed to talk to recruits. So I talked all the recruits they signed this year. I probably talked to all of them plus maybe 30 more. Just on the educational side of things, of explaining our mission, what we do for current student athletes, not recruits. We don't do any deals or any engagement with guys that's not here and a part of the program. So we just educate the families on NIL, educate the families that we're just one aspect of NIL, and how we operate and what our deliverables are for our partners and some of the things we've done with our current student athletes. And by really getting to depth explaining like that, I wouldn't say we are telling them to come to Ohio State because of this, but we letting you know outside of the other things that you've seen at the Woody Hayes facility, around campus, all the great coaches here. This is another aspect that makes Ohio State unique.
Just the aspect too of and I've talked to Boom about this a bunch. When you play well here, you could leverage those relationships. Like Zach Bourne's a great example. I got his dumpster outside right now. He done built a $10 million company on. It's there's some amazing opportunities if you get in a network and you can build some businesses that you can leverage it not just right now, even if you don't go on. If you're smart about it, there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah,
man.
I don't never. When people ask me about Ohio State, especially recruits, I never talk about the sports.
Yeah, man.
You know the sports.
network
You
should
see it. I talk about what a place like Ohio State can do for you for life after sports.
Yeah.
I said because I was in a position where I was almost like, okay, I know I can play, but look, I'm not going to play, so let me take advantage of this place, right? Let me take advantage of the Real Life Wednesday programs that we have, all the people that come in and just want to speak to us. Let me get business cards and things like that. And I know freaking walk-on players and players who ain't playing snap that's making a really good living for themselves.
Great.
And we talked about this the other day, you know, about that brotherhood. I mean, don't call me. I don't care what I'm doing. I don't care if I was in Cleveland. I don't care if I was in Florida. I was going to be here Thursday.
You're going to pull up.
You know, because he asked me, right? And vice versa. When I asked him to do any little thing for me, you know, when I asked him to shave my back, you know, he come shave my back. No,
He was wondering if he was going to ask him to line you up.
Right. But like, so I think that, and that's just the network of the brotherhood. I think it expands even further to the business community and some of the resources that we have through Ohio State. You just got to take advantage of them.
Yeah, but I think it's good if that's part of what you're educating them on, because
Yeah.
I think that gets
Because
sometimes.
NIL is going to provide opportunities, to make money. So I also have an agency, 10 Talents, where we represent student athletes.
Okay.
And we push for, when we have NIL deals for our student athletes, we push for more long-term campaigns and deals. So you really get an opportunity to know this kid. You really, or just, you know, male or females, we represent female athletes as well. And, you know, because we hope that will lead to opportunity later on down the future whenever they're done with their planned days, right? Instead of, hey, I'm going to give you $10,000 or $1,000 for a social media post. Oh, yeah, do it, but there's no relationship there.
Right.
There's no it's not genuine, right? So we really, you know, encourage, you know, the businesses, our partners, and our student athletes to really build a relationship with everybody you're doing an NIL engagement with. And then, you know, which is cool about that, because you never know what that leads to in the future. If it's another NIL opportunity while you're in college, or if it's a freaking job.
Yeah.
Right? Because they already have good experience with you, and they already know who you are. They already know your characteristics. And you just make that connection way easier.
Man, it's a great episode, bro.
Who do I send my invoice to?
Boom.
Yeah, you fucking stick that mic in my
The guy with the microphone.
Stick the mic in my
This has definitely been great, man. I mean, before we even got started, I told G, man, this might have to be a 2-story, you know.
Oh, yeah.
A 2 podcast.
Love to add Brian sometime too. We can have him come out, or we head up to Muirfield one time and try to get him over there or something.
Yeah,
it'd
sure.
be cool.
Yeah, he definitely come down. He definitely come down. He's a good dude, man. He's funny on this stuff too, because, you know, what he's doing with us, what we're doing together in NIL world, and just, you know, his whole background of things. And I tell the story all the time about how me and him met, and I tell people all the time, you know, and I don't know if I said this to him, but I'm like, if you met him maybe 1 or 2 times, you may not get the full gist of him. You may not like him. Mm-hmm. Because you already coming up with your self persona of him, like, okay, Chattenstein family, Billings, like, what we got in common? Nothing. Because I personally felt that way, and I said this to him, and I'm just like, but when you really have an opportunity to, you know, I'm not saying go to dinner with the guy and sit down, but to really shoot the crap with him, and, you know, he let his hair down a little bit, because, I mean, he's always on 100 as well. He, you know, there's people out there that want, you know, that target him just as much as they target athletes, because they don't like the last name, right? You don't even know the guys, right? So he's super relatable, super down to earth, man. Good dude, man. I'm a little socially awkward at first, you know, because he don't know how comfortable people are in their own skin, because he's extremely comfortable in his. Yeah. And that's what I love about him. He don't flaunt his success, his wealth, and things like that, but he owns up to it though. Yeah. He ain't no shy. He ain't shy of he's not shy of the work he put in to get to this point. Yeah. And that's what I love about him.
And he shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. Exactly.
Yeah, we definitely make that happen for sure.
So you what's next? You done playing, or?
I think it'd have to be the right opportunity for me to step back out there on the football field.
But you ain't against it though.
I'm not against it at all. I still train every day. You know, I throw a lot. You know, that go back to my point though, because when the opportunity presents itself, I don't want to be not ready. Oh man, I got to go lose some weight. I got to go do this or whatever. Yeah. So, you know, I got to lose some weight now, but yeah, I mean, I would love to have an opportunity, but as you know, longer you out, the harder to get back in. You know, just this is a young sport. Yeah. You know, it's, you know.
Well, I saw you at the pro day, and I was just thinking, like, I mean, I wonder if Cardale was, had a chance to talk to any coaches.
I did. I talked to a few coaches. It was funny. I talked to a few coaches, and they was actually just like, "Hey, you still look good." I wanted to say, "Yeah, I can still throw too. What's up?" We'll be gonna put some cleats on real quick,
right?
So, but like, it's tough, man. It's tougher to get back in, but you have things out there like XFL, USFL, and other spring leagues that keep having some traction.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Cool.
All right.
One last thing, just being around. Obviously, like you said, you was at Pro Day and you was able to be around guys like CJ and even to play with Braxton and all those other guys. Like, just talk about how it is like helping those guys out, like the younger guys now. You know what I'm saying? That's coming up. You know what I'm saying? You've been there, done it. You know what I'm saying? So, what's some of that advice that you've been giving those guys, whatnot?
Man, literally, me and CJ talked about this yesterday, about the first time we met and the stories we shared and how we, I told him straight up, because when we met, I think I met CJ. He reminds me of his personality so much like me when it comes to socially. He's not I think we met like in a club though, but it wasn't like, it's him standing here just talking to his boys. Other teammates over there popping bottles, getting lit.
He's low key,
and I'm the same way. I'm standing over here talking maybe to a girl or two, and the boys over there, they, friends, friends.
Yeah.
And they on the bar dancing, my homeboys and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I woke up to him, I'm like, bro, man, I'm excited to meet you. I said, and then ironically, I had just a day or two before did a special on him and Kyle McCord for the quarterback battle at the time, and with Clay Hall. Dom Tiberi, and I'm just like speaking to him, man. I'm just like, dude, I'm like, man, go take what's yours. Take it over. And I pulled for Kyle in that competition as well because I'm like, it's going to make you guys better.
Yeah.
And if I'd have ran into Kyle, I told him the same thing.
Yeah.
Take what's yours. So I'm excited to see that transformation, that battle here. But just really having a conversation with him from that first thing, I was just gravitated to him. Like, dude, this kid is like, he got something about him.
Yeah.
The way he carries. I was like, I don't know if he can play dead, but he got something about him. And then, more of that battle transpired in spring, and I was there watching those guys really go at it. I thought it was a tough battle, but clearly, Coach has made a great decision and starting a great one, and Kyle is right back at it again with Devin in the battle. But I think the knowledge and the experience I can get to guys is definitely second to none. Especially in situations like this, because I've been through them, right? Not just playing there, but the exact situations, battling of maybe not being the guy or recruiting and almost get recruited past and things like that. And really that, and I tell people all the time, I say, bro, I didn't see both sides of college athletics, and I don't think anyone have. I didn't see almost calling for my name and calling for me to get kicked out of school. I couldn't walk down High Street naked and no one know who I was. And the very next day, I couldn't walk to the mall. I couldn't walk to the store.
Yeah.
So I said, I didn't see, and I said, nothing changed about me. Nothing changed. I'm still that same guy that want to be playful, goofy, chilling, hanging out.
Yeah.
And now these people treat me like gold. I said, so I've seen both sides of it, so I can give you knowledge from both sides of saying like, hey, it's good. I tell people, I say good when you're good.
Yeah, till you're not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good when you're good. I said it was a cool experience for me when I wasn't playing. I'm like, whatever. Like, I saw how, I remember one time, and I share the story a lot, that I went to Chipotle with Braxton. It was me, Braxton, and JT. It's Braxton Miller, and they gave him so much fucking rice and chicken. Bro.
Double chicken?
That's what I'm saying. And I'm just like, I'm like, he didn't say double and do like this. I'm just like, ooh, I'm happy. I'm broke as fuck too. So I can't afford double. Like double. Like as I'm saying double, I'm checking my bank account. Like that shit $8.95. Oh, I got $9.10. Hey, what's the tax on that? Like I'm like that. Yeah. Like my first 2 years, man, before I moved off campus, like I'm broke as shit. Mm-hmm. And for people to know, we move off campus, you get a stipend check, and then you usually get a roommate, and then y'all split the rent, and you usually have a little bit left over. So that's how it usually works. But anyways, so the dude freaking put regular he didn't do mine like Braxton. And I'm just like, no, I'm with him. Like, motherfucker, like, you better do the same thing like, or I'm going to fucking have him walk back down his line. Motherfucker, I'm with him. So I remember that. So me and JT was dying laughing, though. And I'm just like, no, I literally said, I'm like, no, I'm with him. Like, do what you did to his, bro. And then, like, literally, like, a year or so later, 2 years later, like, I went to same guy, and, like, he's hooking my food up.
Wow.
And I'm just like, I like you.
That's the difference.
Like, yeah, though, like little things like that, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Being on, feel like you're on top of the world to, like, just being another guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I seen them both.
One wideout that you play with, a lot of people don't show love to, that to me is one of the best, like, at tracking the ball, is Devin Smith, man.
Oh, of course.
Talk
He was
about
the
like
best
that
deep
real
ball
quick,
catcher.
because
He's the
we
best
were
deep
just
ball
watching
catcher.
that highlight that Cole sent out that we tweeted out, and I think it was the 3 tutties that you had in one game, and every one of those catches was sick. Like, and I know even Urban had brought him back in Jacksonville. I saw him. He was, I think he had him try out, because the dude can flat out catch the football.
Devin is,
too.
yeah, he can run. Yeah. He's state championship and runner. So I played against him in high school. We beat those guys in high school, Massillon Tigers.
Okay.
Then we played together in a Big 33 game, which is an all-star game versus Ohio and PA. You played that?
I got invited, but I had a knee injury, so I ain't playing.
Oh, you soft. Okay, anyway. So me and Devin, you know, we was going to Ohio State and stuff like that, and we played it, and we had like 4 touchdowns in that game or something like that. All deep balls, just like that. And Devin was one of the first guys I talked to in the locker room after the Michigan game. And he came up to me, he's like, bro, this is about to be like the Big 33 game. Laughing, we dapping each other up, goofy and stuff like that. And it literally was on the deep balls. And he's a guy that, you know, you throw it in his area, he's going to
Coming down.
Yeah, and not even. I mean, he's gonna most likely outrun you, but he outjump you too. He was a state champion high jumper as well.
Got it.
And just can track. He can track the ball like none other.
Yeah, I just thought that's like hasn't been talked about enough. So my plan is to try to get him out here sometime.
I think it hasn't been talked about enough because they had some of these crazy receivers the last 3 years.
Yeah, true.
Like Jesus,
He was a lot of fun to watch. So
yeah, for sure.
Well, man, where can everybody find you out on social media? I mean, your Twitter's like crazy popular. What you dropping real quick anyway?
What's my Twitter name? It's CJ1 and 2 spelled out TWO. So CJ12, but it's letter number 1 TWO.
And then what's the
Instagram is
or the foundation website?
Oh, the foundationohio.com is our website. My OnlyFans is Cardale Jones.
Yeah, baby. We was waiting on that one.
I was just joking. My feet finder pics are yeah. I'm also on Farmers Only. Yeah, for all the single ladies out there. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, then Instagram Cardale7_. So, but yeah, the foundations, we loving it, man. It's taking off. We just merged with another foundation called the O Foundation, Bill Lewis and Ronnie Stokes, that was strictly benefiting the basketball program, and we had a lot of overlap of resources and some things we did with the players already. So we merged and made it one big collective. That's, you know, we bringing all our resources together to provide better service for our student athletes. You know, like I said before, hopefully we get to a point one day where we are benefiting and you know, have an opportunity to work with all student athletes, you know, of all sports. So it's going to take time to get there, but I think we move in the right direction.
Yeah.
But look, we appreciate you coming out, bro. It's probably gonna be a part 2. We definitely gonna bring you back during the football season
For sure.
Just to get your your take on things and certain players and all that stuff.
We're trying to blow up and be down there, man. We have them on the show while we're down there.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's the plan.
We're trying to go to the next level with this. So
that'd be pretty cool, man. I like the setup here, though.
Appreciate you. And,
yeah, I say we just close it out. Please share this episode with your friends. Content Kyle, Treway, myself, we're grinding on social media. It's popping right now. It's hot. So follow us at The Real Boomcast. Please share us with your friends.
Yeah. All right, we out. Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up. And I ain't talking about condoms.